back to your daily dose of dragon feather. We are here with the Ouroboros Squishable. I'm obsessed with this one because it's like a feathered dragon eating its own tail. Super cute. But today, you guys are very lucky today actually, because I was able to convince Pickle Chips for us to do a little Q&A today. For those of you guys who do not know, hey, hi, hello, my name is Azura Dragonfeather, and I am a draconic witch. I've been practicing for nearly 20 years now, for the better half of 20 years, and guess what? My dragon guardian, one of my main dragon guardians, is a celestial dragon, or a purple dragon, as some would consider a celestial dragon, a purple dragon. And they are one of the main dragons that I work with, and they have given me the permission to let you guys channel, to let me channel him for your questions here on today's episode. Woo! I'm so excited. So if you guys, it's been kind of, before we get started, we'll just kind of like hang out and kick it for a little bit while, you know, all of our homies come and join us. You know, it's really awesome to have you guys here. Thank you for leaving a like on the video, my friends. Parade! Yay! Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to your daily dose of dragon feather. We are having such a wonderful, fun time tonight with Pickle Chips, okay? Yay! Road to Yes Forever! OMG, I finally tuned in while you are live, yay! Hey, babes! Hi, Sean Hart! All right, yo! What's up, Azura? Welcome back to your daily dose of dragon feathers, Shadow Main 124. Today we are going to be doing another channeling session with my dragon guardian Pickle Chips. This is a long awaited stream with Pickle Chips. I know how many of you guys have been asking to have another, you know, Pickle Chips thing. This is not going to be a general message one. Pickle Chips says that it's okay. We're okay. We've done the work. We've done the connection, we've done the homework. So you guys can ask personal questions, but I will do my best, okay, to channel them for you. We'll get started in a little bit. I'll do the little like breathwork thing that I do, show you guys how I get into my channeling in case you guys might have missed my previous channeling videos. I have like a little thing that I do to get me into the zone. So maybe you guys can join me in that practice if you are interested, because it is all about breathwork, and that is pretty much what my dragon guardians tell me is the most important daily practice that I do. Fun fact, breath work. You need to practice breathing, because most of us, so like here's our lung, right? Most humans are only filling like the top half of the lung. Like the bottom half of your lungs are barely getting any oxygen. And breath work helps us fill the entire lung, right? So it's pretty exciting. Leave a like if you're excited. Nightmare Fuel Studios! Welcome back to your daily dose of dragon feather. So happy to have you here. Oh my gosh. Long time fan. Always excited to see your vids. Remember watching them at least 5 years ago, pretty sure. SJ, that's crazy. It's so awesome to see you here. I hope you are excited for your daily dose of dragon feather. We are back and we are at it. All right, Alien Noodle. Hi, I'm excited. Me too. So much excited. Yes, thank you. And welcome back to your daily dose of dragon feather. Kevin Moore, can I message you on Instagram? You are more than welcome to, but I might not get to your messages because I don't have like management now that helps me with my content, my social media. So there's a lot of messages on there. The best way to probably message me would probably be for me to get back to you on that one. I'm like working on setting up like a consultation and like just a way for you guys to like outreach to me. And also the Patreon. I'm getting the Patreon reset up with more in-depth content that's like deep dives, right? Like I don't necessarily, Pickle Chips doesn't want me to really share all of this like newfound arcane knowledge that I've gotten on just like for free on YouTube. Pickle Chips says that could open me up to a lot of criticism that doesn't understand what I'm talking about, that could tarnish my image and hurt the community. So they said to keep it behind like just like a paywall of like $1 basically. So I hope that's okay. But anyway, Star Angel stuffies. Yes, this is the stuffy we have for today. This is the Ouroboros. Look at his little feet.
Look at his little feet. Oh my gosh, I can't breathe.
I'm a child, okay? It's fine. It's fine. Eddie's Funhouse, how is it? It's good. Welcome back to your daily dose of dragon feather. We are so excited. Alien Noodle, also, what I was talking about in the last live, this control stands for choose right. I don't know if I read that correctly. Dragon bling. Did I read that right? hey, I was Rebalua and changed my net handle. Yeah, I was gonna say, I recognize your face, my lady. But how would you pronounce that? Am I saying that right? Dragon Blingy or Blingy? I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Jeanette Evans, first live away, sleep when you are live as I am in the UK. Oh, yay! Jeanette Evans, I'm trying to do more live streams in the morning because I have a lot of you guys out in the UK. So I have been trying to do like Pacific Standard Time, like streaming from like 5 a.m. to like 9 a.m., like between there. And I don't know exactly what time zone that is, but I think that's like right around like lunchtime or like maybe like that time. Squishables are better than Squishmallows. I'll die on that hill. Same nightmares. I literally don't buy Squishmallows anymore. Surprise, they're owned by a Zionist company. So these are all the Squishmallows I'll ever have in my life. Sorry about that. It's almost 6 a.m. Yeah, so you guys are pretty much like, yeah, if I were to go live at like 5 a.m. then it would probably be like right around like noon or something. I don't think that it's meant to be pronounced Belingy. That it's meant to be pronounced Belingy. Okay, so did I say it right that time? Okay, just want to make sure I got it right because I'm not trying to. I get so mad when people mispronounce my name, so I try my best. And basically in the early Y2K, there were so many pictures with glitter on them and they were called, oh, I know what you're talking about. You just unlocked so many of those like ridiculously like sparkly fairy pictures and unicorn pictures and dragon pictures, or like gifs. They're like gifs from the early 2000s. You and me are the same sometimes. Okay. Anyway, we're really deep into this now, so let us just get into this live stream. Why don't we? So before we get started, I do just gotta take, oh no, I forgot to grab my water. I have to grab my water. I'll be right back. Okay, my friends? I'm gonna grab the water, I'm gonna do the breath work, and then we'll start it, okay? It'll be like 2 seconds, okay? 2 seconds. She is adorable. It is true. So I have a blanket today. It's one of my favorite blankets, so I'm really excited. I wanted to share with you guys, pause for dramatic effect, because we have to talk about this water, okay? Okay, this is called Starfire water, okay? And I'm gonna read the back of it to you. It says, legend has it that the mystical starfire was liquid mana of the divine, used by ancients for ultra focus, extreme performance, and even enlightenment. In that vein, we introduce Starfire Water, a proprietary alkaline performance bioholographic living water, produced using breakthrough 21st century quantum water technology. Starfire is treated with ultraviolet, ozonation, infrared simulation, and electromagnetism for a negative ion charged water. As in nature, allowing deep cellular intake through our aquaporins, the floodgates to hydration. Vortex induced using a solar helix and pyramid grid system to give it a hexagonal structure, and infused with monatomic elements, we are able to achieve a water with cosmic healing energy. This water is amplified with a psionic wave oscillation tuned to the universe's frequency, helping to synchronize you with the heartbeat of our Earth. Starfire water is treated with sacred sound resonance transmission to vibrationally transform you on the deepest molecular level. Altogether, we've created the world's finest, premium, alkaline, performance, living, hexagonal, superstructured water. Hydrogen convergence. It says the ingredients are reverse osmosis H2O, ionic sea minerals, CaCO3, ionized Ethereum gold, the noble mineral. So this is something that I have been drinking for the past couple days. Pickle Chips told me to improve my health conditions, especially like my period issues, that I should focus on finding the absolute premium quality of water as I possibly can get my hands on. I love that this comes in glass. I am no longer buying water in plastic if I can avoid it. And because there are gold ions in this, which is a noble mineral, gold ions helps us to connect with literally our light bodies. So cheers. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing this star water here for our little ritual here. I guess you could call it a ritual. I'm just like channeling pickle chips, so I guess it's not like a formal ritual, but we're gonna speak our intentions into the water, okay? So let's see. What shall we say? With this water, please bring pickle chips messages to us with ease, joy, and efficiency. And so it is. Cheers. Luna Rainbow! Hi, hon, how are you? Miss you. I missed you too. I'm doing great. We are here for your daily dose of dragon feather. Welcome back. We're about to get into this awesome stuff, okay? Because we're made of water, so it changes our water molecule, which is why each snowflake is shaped differently. Dragon. I know. That's my favorite thing about just water, the water in general. A lot of people have no idea that music can change our DNA. Yes. 432 hertz, yes. Pickle Chip says that my next like, I guess, avenue of study for my witchcraft is like sound magic and sound healing and using sound frequencies and vibrations and stuff like that. Hi Pickle Chips, how are you? Missed you, brother. Okay, let's go ahead and get this channeling session on because I have not opened the channel yet. So for those of you guys who are unaware, the way that I prepare my body to channel Pickle Chips is through Pickle Chips' specific direction. I'm supposed to do what I call the breath of fire, and you do this really quickly, and you do 2 really, really deep inhales through your nose, and then you exhale through your mouth. And the deeper you inhale, the more healing you will receive, and the faster you go. You might feel a little lightheaded. It's normal to feel tingling, to feel a little dizzy. It's normal to have your hands get tense or your body to feel weird. So please, if you have any medical conditions that may be triggered through an increase of heart rate or breathing, please practice this with caution or none at all. But here is just kind of like what I do to get into the zone of channeling Pickle Chips. So we got to oxygenate our body. I'm just gonna stretch a little bit. Got to oxygenate our bodies because if we do not have oxygen in our bodies, we are not operating function at like optimal level, right? Because we need to be able to move that oxygen to the tissues of our organs to function properly. And that, you might think, why, Ezra, are you talking about your organs in the middle of a witchy thing? It's all connected, my friends. And the more you focus on the quality of your body and taking quality care of your body, the more you are going to be able to embody your spirit and your light. You know, you have to make sure that you have a clean channel for your channel to be open. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. And if you would like to join me, you're more than welcome to. Ready? All right, and let's go. Okay, I am sweaty. And my hands are a little bit sticky, but not as much as they were last time, because Davin is here. He was a witchcraft and became Muslim. Yes, I love him. I follow him. He's so fun to listen to on TikTok. I started cleaning my room, Pickle Chips. I haven't done much because I've been busy, but I gotta start. Okay, so now that the channel is open, we're just gonna ease into the vibes, okay? Because like I got all the tingles going on in my body, and I like to wait for the tingles to kind of subside in my body before I jump into receiving the messages. I just kind of spilled a little. Hold on. This is so embarrassing. Okay, it's okay. It happens. These drinks are like so. They're like little geysers over here when I open them. But yeah, the only difference with you know, pickle chips and stuff is like, I'm actually gonna make a video about how like dragons aren't djinn. Who mentioned Draven? Greg is Mena? Yeah, so I get one of the main comments like I get most of the time from like Muslims who watch my content is that they say that my dragons are jinn, and like they're not jinn because like I've done the Quran verse that, what's the name? I don't know the name of the Quran verse, but there's like a verse in the Quran that basically when you recite it out loud, like jinn can't be by you, like they like literally, you know, just vanish. And my dragon guardians love the Quran. Like they love the Quran. They tell me to read and listen to the Quran like it's part of my practice. Like you know. But it's very, very, very important. I can't stress it hard enough that dragons are not jinn. They just are not. So that is the number one download I'm getting from Pickle Chips right now. Just Pickle Chips wants me to make it very clear in this live that dragons are dragons, okay? Like dragons are nothing but dragons, okay? And on this channel, we're not working with anything else but dragons unless I state otherwise, okay? I promise you, that's the way, okay? So, here we go. Thank you, Nightmare Fuel Studios. You are on top of your shit. I think we should ask, actually, do you speak to Tiamat? I do, Star Angel. Okay, fun fact. I actually really loved Tiamat's rendition in the Godzilla movie with Pink. Beautiful, okay? Beautiful. Sophia, hello. Good morning or night. It is night for me. Brian, hi. Welcome back to your Daily Dose of Dragon Feather. Daily Dose of Dragon Feather. Okay, today we're channeling Pickle Chips. So we're gonna ask questions. Today right now I'm gonna ask Pickle Chips a question, okay? Because I wanna know for me, okay, Pickle Chips, should I focus? I don't even have to finish my answer. He's already saying yes, okay? I literally just was about to ask Pickle Chips, should I focus on posting like TikToks or like short form content on dragons every single day? I wasn't even able to finish my sentence or question in my mind. Pickle Chips was like, yes. So Pickle Chips says I have to create shorts at least once a day, at least one a day, about dragons, because they say I know way too much and I get burnt out in my head, okay? Because I have too much in my head, Pickle Chip says I'm overwhelmed and I need to get the stuff that's in my head out of my head. I need to transfer the ideas onto the page or onto the screen. That, Pickle Chips, you're so real for that, you know? But yeah, tell Pickle Chips that I said hi and it's nice to meet him. Of course, Daniel. He's already loving all this energy in the chat. I'd watch them. I think it's really interesting. Oh hell yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I did post one recently, just kind of like saying like it's actually like you can start working with dragons today. Like I posted a like a short on my channel about it today. If you're interested in checking it out. But it's basically just like, you know, if you feel called to working with dragons, the dragons are already calling you. And like, if you've like known dragons or like had a passion for dragons ever since you were a child, the dragons have wanted you to work with them, okay? Forever. And like Pickle Chips, can you give me some confirmation on that too? Pickle Chips says that the dragons are just as obsessed with us when we are so obsessed with them. And I think that's really sweet. Oh my God, Pickle Chips. Quetzali? I hope I said your name right. I'm about to sleep here soon, but I wanted to pop in and say hello, everybody. Good evening, morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are. Yay! Good morning. And I hope you're doing well for your daily dose of Dragon Feather. But yeah, if you guys have questions, oh, did you see what I asked? No, I didn't, Luna. I'm going back to find out. Okay, I'm very new to Draconic Wicca. If I reach out to Pickle Chips by giving them offerings, can or answer, will they appreciate it? Pickle Chips is like, probably won't respond because like Pickle Chips is a guardian that I work with, but like Pickle Chips said, like if you want to work with a guardian like Pickle Chips, like if you want to work with like a celestial dragon, for example, you have to start focusing. What's the word, Pickle Chips? If you want to work with dragon guardians like you, Pickle Chips, or a celestial dragon, what would be the best offerings to give a guardian like you? It's weird because my work with Pickle Chips isn't really offering based. Oh, okay. And the reason why it's not offering based is because Pickle Chips said that celestial dragons are different than, like, I guess you could say, like, elemental earthbound dragons, in the sense that, like, offerings of the physical world on earth don't really, like, matter to, like, Pickle Chips or a celestial dragon, right? At least in my practice. I can't speak for anyone else. This is just me working with Pickle Chips, okay? But, like, Pickle Chips said, like, the best thing to offer a celestial dragon to work with them is your spirit. And not like, that's not like you give your soul or like you sell your soul. It means like you embody your life, like you become alive, you create what you love. Like Pickle Chips loves it when I dance for him. Pickle Chips loves it when I sing for him. Pickle Chips loves it when I write poetry for him. Pickle Chips loves it when I do breath work in his honor, when I paint in his honor, when I, inspire other people in his honor. Pickle Chips wants, as an offering, to see me elevating the world. That's how I offer. That's how I like give an offering. Does that make sense? Does Pickle Chips have any other non-dragon friends? Yes. Yes, of course. Yay, I pronounced it right. Okay. Or is it just you feel connected to anything that's already a sign of reaching out? Oh, did I miss your thing? Yeah, I think if you already feel connected to anything, it is a sign that they're already reaching out to you, right? Because like I'm a huge firm believer of like, birds of a feather flock together, and like, like attracts like we literally like we live in an energetic universe where everything is already connected, but when things are of similar vibration, they're going to resonate, right? And that's why when I say when something resonates with you, when I say if it resonates with you, I'm not saying, oh, if you like the way it sounds. Like, no, I'm saying if something resonates with you, you feel an energetic, like, upliftment within your being when you hear it, right? I pray to Taima every day. That's so amazing, Star Angel. Do you have an altar for them? Does Pickle Chips have, oh yeah, I already read that. How do I know what kind of dragon my two are? Pickle Chips, how do we know what kind of dragons we're working with? Pickle Chips says that the dragons will honestly tell you when they're ready. Like, some of the, like I said, some of the dragons that I work with won't even tell me they're elementals. And I wasn't able to learn Pickle Chips elemental until this year, the year of the dragon. Funny enough. But like I've been working with Pickle Chips for, I want to say, since like the end of, like, I started feeling Pickle Chips in like a subconscious way in like the end of 2020, like on a, like in a subconscious conscious way, because like Pickle Chips is a guardian that's always been around me. I've just been unable to perceive him because he didn't want me to, right? So like now with Pickle Chips, I am cultivating like a conscious relationship, and every single time I like follow the guidance of Pickle Chips, that's how I unlock information about Pickle Chips. It's very much like it feels like a little bit like a game, I guess. If that makes sense. Is Pickle Chips a nickname? Do they have a truer name? Yes, Shadowmane124. Pickle Chips is like their affectionate nickname that I call them publicly, because I earned access to their name via the work that I did with them. And that was something that I can't share with other people because I earned that, right? So if I were to share Pickle Chips, like I guess like real name that like I'm allowed to call him in my personal practice, like that would be a violation of my connection with Pickle Chips, and then Pickle Chips would just disappear. So, yeah. Imagine you're your child self. How do you talk about dragons? That's a great one, Sophie. Pickle Chips, can you help me channel a message from my inner child about dragons? Okay. They are the ones who help us arrive safely. They are ones who guard us through our birth. The birthing process is traumatic. The guardians are the most present during birth and death. Whoa. You guys are crazy with your questions, man. This is my 3rd year on the Dragon's Path, and it has been an amazing experience. That's so exciting, Daniel. Loki didn't low-key don't want to work with dragons, but I would like to communicate with them. Though how do I do that, bruh? How do you like communicate with dragons without working with them per se? Pickle Chip says be open to receiving dragon medicine in any way that it comes to you. And know that if you ever were to change your mind on working with the dragons, they're already very interested, always, if you're even looking in their direction. Like, dragons crave humans who have open minds and open hearts to the possibilities. And chances are, if you're doing what we do, you're already pretty much there, which is why I really encourage all witches to try and engage with the dragon at least one point in their lifetime or in their practice, because they are incredibly powerful, unmatched allies on the path of magic. And the best way to work with them is just to be open to receiving their medicine. Maybe the best way to receiving their medicine, Sophia, is just by simply being subscribed to my channel, you know? It could be also reading books that have dragons in it, if that makes sense. You know, you can look at the symbolism of them, learn about their lore maybe, and see if there's anything in their mythology that you could apply to your craft. That's really cool. Thanks for answering, of course. I can't help but I ask, am I on the right path in my life? Let's see. You know, Pickle Chips, I didn't even have to ask. Pickle Chips is saying you're never on the wrong path in life, because when you truly have eyes to see and ears to hear, you'll know that everything is objectively neutral and part of your experience. You just come here to play around for a while until it's time to go, you know? And we humans are so conditioned to believe that there is this one path to success, and if we're not following a traditional like plan or like layout for following that path, we can often doubt ourselves if we're on the right ones, especially when we take a step off of the religious paths, right? If we take a step out of that and we take a step onto our own practice, all of a sudden the path ahead of us seems to disappear because no one has walked it before. And that is how you know you're on the right path, is what Pickle Chips tells me. When the path ahead of you starts to disappear and you don't see where you're going, it's because no one has done it before. No one has done it like you before. And that means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I hope that helps. Can you ask Pickle Chips, what if a draconic practitioner started honoring working with someone else's kin type, their dragon soul? Working with someone else's kin type, their dragon soul. Do you mean, like, I'm trying to understand your question. Do you mean that, like, so for like example's sake, like I'm dragonkin and you are saying like if you could like work with like the dragon soul of a human? Pickle Chips is not without the person's consent. I didn't even have to ask. If they're human embodied, there's just certain extra like laws, universal laws that play into that. Howdy, hey dad, what's up? Dragon father, good to see you. Just popping by to say hi before I log out. Let Pickle Chips know I'm jealous he gets way more of your attention than I do. Dad! Oh man, Pickle Chips says that, Dad, Pickle Chips says that, I'm working on being more connected with everybody. I'm really trying to get better. I was very isolated for a while, and like my social skills just kind of like rotted to hell during 2020. And phone calls scare me, okay? I'm sorry, they scare me. There's a lot of trauma with phone calls for me. I'm not ready to talk about it on camera, but what I will say is I want to do better. I'm sorry, Dad. I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you. I really don't. I'm planning into watching videos for their mythology, and I actually have in mind what type of dragon I'd like to connect with, and then I'll try meditation. Sophia, that's perfect. See, you already know what's going on. Starlings, hi, I'm here. No, it's okay. Welcome back to your daily dose of dragon feather. I'm going to start vending soon, selling handmade jewelry and accessories. Does Pickle Chips have any advice or messages I should know? Things I should keep in mind? Let's see. Remember your value. Do not undersell your magical jewelry. It will make a huge impact not only in your life, but in those around you if you wish. Put in all of the energy, love, magic, whatever you feel called to into your craft, but do not undercharge yourself. Please. Pickle chips is just like coming in really, really strong right now for everybody for every hatchling here, watching live or in the playback. Like, you guys undervalue yourselves, and it's because the world has undervalued you. But that does not mean that it has to stay that way. That does not mean it has to stay that way. Let's see. I lost my spot. Okay, I was obsessed with dragons as a kid, and I've been following you for a while, but I've never managed to connect. Any suggestions on how to make more space for dragons, I guess? BR Paris, welcome back to your Daily Dose of Dragon Feather. That's a great question. Pickle chips. I didn't even have to ask. Pickle chips is saying go outside, touch grass. I'm sorry, pickle chips is very sassy, okay? So but basically, like, if you're struggling to make space for dragons, if that makes sense, pickle chip says you need some fresh air. It's really that simple, and you'll probably feel so much closer to dragons the second that you just touch a fucking tree. Are other mystical beings, tigers, unicorns, dryads, fae, etc., be an alternate to connecting with dragons? Yes, Brian. I know that was at Sophia, but yes, that is true. I work with those as well, but some people are like just fairy witches. Or like just unicorn witches, you know? Like, I started as just a draconic witch, but like now I work with other mythical creatures because my dragon guardians told me to do that, right? So I just feel so alone sometimes. I feel like too different, so I just question if I'm on the right path sometimes. Lunar Rainbow, it sounds like you feel very, like, it sounds like you've probably experienced like systemic misunderstanding about who you are, which is something that I've had to deal with most of my life. People are so conditioned to like judge me instead of be curious about why I'm different. Does that make sense? And so when we question if we're on the right path or not, it comes from a place of insecurity and not knowing who we are. And Pickle Chips, how can we move through that? Return to what you love. What makes you smile? What brings you joy? Pickle Chips says that if you feel like you're off the path, like, it's because you're not in your body enough. It's because you're too in your head. Like you're thinking too much. Like it's like storm clouds of thought up here when it needs to be energy vortexes here is your focus, right? We overthink things, right? Am I on the right path? You start questioning yourself too much, that's your ego trying to understand who you are, trying to fit yourself in this paradigm, trying to fit yourself in a box of how to move, you know, how to relate around yourself and the world around you and with others, right? But the reality is that it's only about your perspective. If you feel so lost, it's probably because you crave connection. And the best way to get that connection is to pour it into yourself and not look for it outside of you. You know, I literally try to sometimes get my boyfriend to meet all my needs when I'm having a hard mental health day, and sometimes even a good one. Like, it's sometimes so subconscious that I'm trying to like get my emotional needs met doing this, that, or the third. And like, I had to understand and bring myself back into my consciousness and my conscious awareness that like it actually wasn't him being the problem. Like, it wasn't that he wasn't treating me right. It wasn't that he wasn't doing enough as my partner. It was me expecting him to do everything a very specific way, and if it wasn't done a specific way, my nervous system interpreted that as a threat to my existence, to my relationship, to my house, to my safety, to all of those things. And that will keep you very small within yourself. Pickle Chip says that the fear of something is always worse than the experience. Always. Okay, let me catch up with this chitty chat. Let's see. I'm just going through the speciation stage of the twin flame, the separation stage. I'm guessing that's what of the twin flame journey. So ever since I found my twin, I have been feeling different. Yeah, Luna, that's fair. Is your boyfriend a dragon witch too? No, Star Angel. My boyfriend is not a witch at all. Does Pickle Chips have any advice to help us get out of our heads? Yeah, tapping. Wow, I didn't even have to ask. Tapping. So when you're in your head, say you're on your path. Here, if you feel really anxious and you feel different and you feel drained, try this tapping session, okay? This is what I've been given from Pickle Chips to like help with my own life. But repeat after me, I guess. It is safe to be off my path. It is safe to be lost. It is safe to go into the unknown. I am allowed to explore every possibility within my mind safely. I am able to explore every possibility in my mind safely. I love being present in my body. I love being present in my body. Being in my body feels so fucking good. Being in my body feels so fucking good because that's the way it is, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it is. I have no fear, for I am fearless. I am fearless. I am fearless. I am safe to stand in my truth. I am safe to stand in my truth. Just some things to help, I guess. What is this live stream about? Starlinks! We are asking my dragon guardian, Pickle Chips, questions. So if you guys have any questions, like if you need advice or whatever, it's totally a free like reading. If that, I guess you could say. It's more like a channeling because I'm not like using tarot cards or anything. But yeah, I'm just in the middle of channeling Pickle Chips, you know? Tapping, okay, but what about I asked before? Yeah, let's say that one of us felt connected to Azura. Can they reach out to that spirit channel, etc.? Not if they're currently embodied, is what Pickle Chip says. Okay, now I understand your question. Thank you for clarifying, Dragon. Like Pickle Chip says that like once a dragonkin has passed on and their body is no longer living, then you can reach out to the dragon like spirit, right? But like as long as somebody's embodied in a physical human vessel, there's just too many guardian spirits around human beings, right? So you can't necessarily channel somebody's spirit without their consent, right? You know, and I'm like not gonna give people consent to channel my spirit. That's weird. So like if you have somebody in your life who's a dragonkin and like you say, hey, can we do this? Like, and they're open to that, that's awesome. I hope that helps. Thanks for the affirmations. Yeah, you got it. Let's see. If you don't mind me asking, what are Pickle Chip's thought on the LGBTQ community and the furry theory community? Pickle Chip says, what about him? I don't even know what else to say. Daniela C, Pickle Chips. So Pickle Chips is my dragon guardian. It's a celestial dragon guardian that I work with that, and I quote, Pickle Chips says that if we refer to Pickle Chips as Pickle Chips, it will be easier to understand, more relatable, and less intimidating to receive messages from Pickle Chips. So I hope that helps. Pickle Chips, is there anything we need to know before working communicating with mythical creatures like mermaids, fae, dragons, etc.? Is there anything we need to know? Yes, trust thyself, learn how to protect your space, cast a circle, learn how to cast a circle so only the mythical creature you are trying to contact can come through. Pickle Chip says if you're especially a beginner, this is imperative that you do this. Some people don't necessarily cast circles in their practice, correct? But some people will, and some people will use it in a way that fits them, and it's different for everybody. And the only way you're gonna figure that out when you're working with dragons or mythical creatures is if you start from a preventative safety measure type of way. The way that my dragon guardians, not just, I mean, Pickle Chips wasn't the first one to tell me this, it was Monte, but all dragon guardians basically have told me, like, it's better to learn how to protect yourself from something that you could summon than to accidentally summon something that you do not know how to protect yourself from. So when you are first starting working with mythical creatures and you are unsure, you need to first cultivate your inner trust within your senses and your interpretation of your reality. That needs to be the foundation. Second, you need to learn and brush up on your knowledge of the mythical creatures you're working with, seeking to connect with. And also, you have to create a space that is welcoming and inviting to them. Even if it's just within your own mind, maybe you're in the broom closet, you can also create an altar within your mind to do all your practices. That is valid as well. So it's about exploring that, learning as much as you can about the craft, and again, finding what resonates to create the practice that works for you to bring forth the guides that you seek. I hope that helps. Understood, thanks. This is so interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting to me too. I would never ask these questions on my own. So I love your guys' questions because I'm just getting so much awesomeness. Do you have pets? Yes, I have a little kitten. She's in the other room though. How can I tell which voice are real or fake in my heart and soul? Luna, let me ask. It's a really good one. Pickle chips, how can we tell the difference? Ooh, already got it. The difference is the real ones are going to be thoughts. The fake ones are going to sound like thinking. Ooh, can you clarify, pickle chips? Thought are singular, unwavering, unmoving, sturdy, fixed. The ego or the background chatter or the voices that aren't accurate are going to be the ones that are changing, curious, trying to understand, right? The actual ones that are here are the ones who are saying one thing and not moving with it, period. Like when I work with pickle chips, sometimes someone asked me about the LGBTQ community and pickle chips, the only thing was what about them? Even when I try to ask again, pickle chips, what about the LGBTQ community? I get nothing, but what about them? So thought, singular thought, standing alone, consciousness, one type of solidified message is going to be the guardian or mythical creature or whatever. But you being like, well, this is, maybe, I don't know, well, what does that mean? Or say you get a message, for example, say I got a message from pickle chips that I need to clean my room. Let's just use that as an example. And I'm like, well, how do I clean my room? Well, what kind of clean do you want it? That is not pickle chips. Clean your room is pickle chips. The how is my brain, my ego, my chatter, if you will. I love dill pickles and drinking pickle juice. I hope that honors him or Angelo. Oh my God, you guys are so silly. Hello, made it to the chat. Alfred Cordova, welcome back to your daily dose of dragon feather. I think I have blood poisoning. Why are you in the live? Go to the doctor. What the heck? Angelo, I need to do shadow work, but I'm scared to go through it. I'm a pain avoider. Angelo, I'm sorry, Pickle Chip says you're weak. I feel guilty saying that to you because I don't want to make you feel shitty about yourself. But Pickle Chip says that the avoidance of pain is more suffering than the pain itself. Pickle Chip says that embrace pain as a teacher, embrace pain as a tool, embrace pain as a guardian. It's part of our experience, you have to get curious about your pain. You have to get curious about it, not where you inflict pain. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying ooh, does this hurt? No. I'm saying why does my heart hurt? Why do I avoid my pain? I'm gonna channel some questions that Pickle Chips makes me ask, okay? Pickle Chips, please share with the hatchling some of the questions you have forced my ass to ask myself. Number 1, what the hell are you afraid of? What the hell are you afraid of? Do you think that your parents' judgment of you is worth wasting your lifetime, worth wasting your truth, not speaking your truth? What is the point of playing this life as you if you will not show up as you are meant to be? How does it make you feel knowing that you waste your time avoiding the most profound lessons of your lifetime simply because you are afraid? Foolish, foolish girl. Wake up, you foolish, foolish girl. All of it is right in front of you, ready for you to experience. You are the one who is afraid to move. Why are you afraid to move? Why are you stuck in bed? Why are you stuck in your head? Why does your heart feel closed? Why does your womb feel broken? Why does your mind feel shattered? Why does your spirit feel shredded? Ask yourself. Ask yourself. Who really hurt you? Who really told you that you weren't good enough? Who really told you that your magic wasn't real? Who really made you afraid? Was it you? Because it wasn't. You came into this world pure, good, innocent. And it is life that has made you hard. It is life that has made you afraid. It is life that has made you stagnant. It is life itself that has made you question who you are. But you need to flip the script. Know thyself to know thy world. If you're looking for yourself outside in the world, you're never gonna find anything but cheap knockoffs. Nothing but masks. The only real authentic experience you can have is so deep within you, buried underneath all of the feelings, all of the questions you don't want to ask, all of the memories you don't want to revisit, all of the people who you just don't want to think about, all of the things you have done that you're ashamed of. The truest version of you exists at the bottom of all that shit. And guess what? When you uncover a diamond like that, you have a power that so little people have in this world. It essentially makes you a god among men. Why? Because you embrace pain as an old friend. Because you embrace shadows as a teacher. Because you embrace your anger as a lesson. So I'm going to ask you again, why are you so afraid? Thank you, pickle chips. Oh my gosh. Dragons can see upper dimension stuff and are logical concerning these things. Wait a minute. Dragons can see upper dimension stuff and are logical concerning these things. Yes. I think I read that correctly, but yes. I think I can't handle the tough love, too fragile. Daniela C, if that's the case, pickle chips is totally tough love. Pickle chips is such tough love that like if you want more like of a gentle type of like channeling, I'm more than happy to channel Rosie in like a future video, because Rosie is gonna always come with the love and the tender, like I call them kid gloves. Like Rosie handles me with like kid gloves when I'm really fucking sad. So like that's kind of like, you know, that's kind of how we feel about that one. So you're homophobic, transphobic, just concerned? Oh my gosh, no. When I say like, what about them? When pickle chips is like, what about them? It means like, they're just human. Like we shouldn't be even considering how we feel about them, because they should just be one of us. Star Angels, does that make sense? I hope that clarification helps. Trust me, I'm part of the LGBT community. Like, we want all the people of the LGBT community to feel very safe on this channel, okay? I will fight anyone who comes after you people, okay? Because just let the people be themselves. It's not that fucking hard. Okay, anyway. Thank you so much, Azura. You and your work and live streams have had an amazing impact on my life, and for that I'm truly grateful. Oh my gosh, Starlinks, I'm so grateful that it has been able to do that for you. You know what I mean? Like, Pickle Chips is saying this is why I tell you to go live, because it matters for everybody. And so thank you. I'm very, 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 very appreciative of that. Thanks, Pickle Chips. Does Pickle Chips want to share his thoughts on reality shifting? Is it an advanced form of lucid dreaming? The methods to achieve it are more or less the same. Actually, Dragon, I'm really curious about that one. Okay, Pickle Chips. I gotta know about reality shifting. Like, what about it? Like, I do it sometimes, but like my reality shifting, that practice has been present before it really worked with Pickle Chips. So, right. Reality shifting is about a perspective. If you want to go to Hogwarts, you simply have to decide you are there. And whether or not your physical being is truly there or not does not matter if and only if you perceive that you are there with your waking consciousness. That's all I got for the reality shifting from pickle chips. I hope that can help. I might have to rewatch that one and dissect that one a little bit. That one was a little bit, a lot. Stop, that was so accurate to my situation. The fuck, I needed that. Yay, Sophia, I'm so happy that I could help. Pickle chips for the win. I love the brutal honesty. Hell yeah, Vex Typher, welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Let's cheers for the pickle chips, okay? Cheers for the pickle chips. Yes, a live stream from Rosie. Yeah, you got it. The next time I know pickle chips is pretty iconic these days. Pickle chips is truly the main guardian that I'm working with, but I'm eventually I'm like starting this channeling practice with pickle chips in the way that I do now, like that I've been doing on these live streams. But the intention that pickle chips has for me is to get to a point to where I can like do it with like any mythical creature, god, goddess, you know, Allah, like prophets, like that's where I'm supposed to get. But pickle chips is one step at a time. We're gonna focus on just working with the dragons and channeling the dragons first, starting with pickle chips, and then we'll do Rosie. I don't know when the other dragon guardians will get involved, just because you never really know. You never really know. Let's see. Lesbian here, you make me feel so safe. For real. You're literally a comfort person. Sophia, I'm so happy. I'm just so stressed out about the world that I just have to create as much of a safe space, little pocket of sanctuary on the internet. This is like my little oasis on the internet that I invite all of you guys to join us. LGBTQ people are awesome. My twin is big. I have family and friends, or bi, sorry. I have family and friends in that community and love them as I love everyone else. Yes, exactly, Luna Rainbow. I feel like it's just like they're just part of who we are. Dragon, I don't even need to ask that question. Pickle Chips is screaming yes, we live in a simulation. I don't know if you were here for one of the last ones that I did. I asked Pickle Chips about AI, and Pickle Chips basically gave me the download that like it's funny because like humans are AI, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean by that, Pickle Chips? And essentially Pickle Chips is like simulation, yeah. So we're like, I don't need to channel Pickle Chips on this one because I already did this like a previous live stream, but like essentially we live in a holographic reality that's like you are the projector, like these are the projector, like I'm projecting my reality, like this isn't real. Or is it? I don't know. I'm just listening to dragons. That's it. That's all I do. How do you channel? Like, what does it feel like? How do you establish that kind of bond, etc.? So first, when you channel, you really have to develop your own inner trust. Some people are natural channelers. Don't get me wrong. Some people just naturally have that gift. When I was very young, I naturally had that gift, but because of the religious indoctrination and abuse that I experienced, not only from the Mormon church, but from the Catholic church, that really kind of made me lose touch with my abilities, right? So I had to kind of reintegrate it. And so how I got back into it was first by building my trust with my own senses on interpreting the unknown parts of our reality beyond the veil, working with my practices that keep my space protected, so I know that the spirits entering my space are only the ones I'm working with. And then for the channeling practice, it really has just been, because like I've gotten to the point now where I can pretty much just sit and like channel Pickle Chips, like just, you know, I've developed that craft over the years, right? But at first it was just a lot of intense meditation, like, and breath work, and just like, you know, like figuring out like a way to hold my hands that helped. You know, some people will use, what are they called? Mudras, I think, where you do different things with your hands. Like when I channel Rosie, I use this mudra. For example, it's just really unique to anyone, any spirit, any practitioner, and even a practitioner or two practitioners who are channeling the same like deity or like archetype or whatever, they're gonna do it differently, you know? Who is Rosie? Sophia. Rosie is a fairy dragon guardian that I met through purchasing a rose quartz crystal dragon. I have shared this story on my channel before. I have a video about fairy dragons. If you just search like literally fairy dragon like on YouTube, that's who I'm talking about. She is like basically like my mother figure, if you will. Like she's very small, very small, very small, like very small. But when she's mad and I need to receive a message, she's bigger than all of my guardians. I don't know how that works. So yeah, I don't know how that works. Yeah, even pickle chips. Yeah. So let's see. I'm just trying to catch up on this charts. How do I get rid of weird and bad dreams? Pickle chips. Process your trauma. Ooh. I'm sorry, Luna. That was not the response I wanted to give you, but pickle chips is tough love. And the thing with dragons is that they're gonna be blunt. Some aren't. You're very lucky, you know, if you get one that aren't, you know. And they're but just straight to the point, and sometimes it's like a white hot iron to your chest. It's like branding your chest a little bit. But I feel that way too, you know. I have really, really fucked up dreams. And when I wake up from a really weird dream, like I'll have dreams about my exes sometimes. Ew. And when I do that, the first thing I do when I wake up is I'll go back to bed and I'll go back to the dream and shift into a dragon and destroy the dream. I'll literally set the dream stage on fire. That's just my personal coping mechanism as a dragonkin. This is what like I've been doing ever since I was a little girl to cope with bad dreams, right? It's literally dream shifting as dragonkin. But sleep with labradorite, protection against the seen and unseen, okay? This is what I knew that on paper, right? But my boyfriend really puts it into practice. Like my boyfriend isn't like a witch per se, but he's very witchy. Does that make sense? He's like a very magical man, okay? He's a very magical medicine man in the sense that like he's very in tune with energy. His intuition is sometimes better than my own. And he's like so in touch with crystal energy. He's very much in touch with it, but like he doesn't cast spells or whatever the fuck. Like he supports me, right? And like if I ever wanted him to be a part of something that I do, I'm sure he would be interested and willing, I guess. But like he's pretty much just like a God is love kind of guy, and I love him for that because I really need that in my life. Let's see. Write down your dreams. It's a form of shadow work. Ooh, that's a great recommendation too as well. Don't eat right before bed, Lunar Rainbow. Use crystals like amethyst, obsidian. Yes, I've heard that eating before bed messes with it as well. I sometimes wonder if your dragons know mine. Pickle Chip says, of course. What the fuck, Pickle Chips? No, like, can you elaborate on that? All the dragons work together. Oh my gosh. All the benevolent dragon guardians work together to help us. I'm gonna cry. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's why beef between dragon followers don't exist. I'm crying bad now. I love dragons so fucking much. Oh my gosh. You got me, Luna. You got me good with that question. Okay. I love that you guys are like having that. You know, I gasped when you said that. Need a live with her. Yes, you do. I need to do a live with her as well immediately. I probably won't do it tomorrow because channeling takes quite a bit out of me. Like just like when I wake up, I kind of sometimes feel a little like, you know, I'm like that's a lot of energy, bro. That was like maybe the sweetest message I've channeled from Pickle Chips in a long time. We don't normally get wholesome things like that from Pickle Chips in a while. It's usually just tough love, but when you ask the right fucking questions, man, they literally help me. You're literally this right now. Oh no, literally. Pickle chips, can someone enter the 5 inner rings via lucid dreaming? Yes. In lore, bronze dragons are nice to people, but there is no reason that there are not others. Yes! Oh my gosh. Are you referencing Dungeons and Dragons? I have those books. I love them so much. Tell Pickle Chips my dragon said hi. Pickle Chips said we don't need to tell each other. It's for us to enjoy. Pickle Chips says when we say, oh, tell your guardians or say hi, like, that's for us. It's not for them. They already are laughing at us. I'm crying. Stop it. I wasn't expecting to get so emotional. This is supposed to be a no cry stream, guys. Come on. Stop asking super wholesome fucking things. Super things. That is so sweet, isn't it? It's so cute. Aw, thanks to all the dragons who watch over us. Love you all. I know. D&D mentioned let's go. Be our Paris. So, you know what Pickle Chips told me? Shout out to the D&D people who are watching. Pickle Chip said that I did start this channel to like find out if magic was real. Spoiler alert, I found out that magic was real. I use my magic to make my dreams come true in the music industry. Spoiler alert, song is coming out very soon, by the way. And also, the cool fun fact is that now with my channel, that I've kind of like become a draconic high priestess, and like I've been working with dragons for so long, and I've had that like super like dragonkin draconic witchcraft type of take on it. My dragon guardian Pickle Chips tells me that now this channel needs to become all things dragons. Like D&D people, I need to talk to you, okay? People who are obsessed with dragons in video games, let's talk, brother. Like, I need to figure out a way how to have like people jump on this live with me. I'm sure that outs my age a little bit, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We're cool. We're chilling. I just also haven't used YouTube in like 3 years, and it's so different than it was when I left. Azura ever played D&D? Yes, I did. Whenever I play D&D with people, I will not play D&D with people unless they let me be a dragon. So let me tell you how I play D&D with people. Pickle Chip says this is very needed information right now. So funny. Oh, what are shadow people? I will answer that shadow people question in a second, but here's the thing. D&D, okay? When I play D&D, I am a member of the party that you find, right? So like I am a dragon egg that when the team, they find my dragon egg in the like campaign, right? And then the team, I'm like an asset to the team, right? So they have to like hatch me, they have to feed me, they have to buff me in order for me to help them in D&D. And that is the best way to play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't care. Thank you. Thank you. Covens and Dragons. I love that. I love that so much. Okay, let's do this Pickle Chips. What are shadow people? Oh, wow. Pickle Chip says that shadow people are the manifestations of our own fears within us. We are not talking or engaging with human personalities. We are more so engaging with the spirits embodied within people. This doesn't mean possession. This means some people have a generous spirit. Some people have a vengeful spirit. Some people have an indifferent, calm spirit. These spirits within us drive us. And sometimes, when we are not fully secure within ourselves, our practice, or otherwise, these can manifest as shadows when we have fears, traumas, or like indoctrination that we may still be unaware of. Furthermore, shadow people can also be manifestations of the evil eye if you have not protected your space. Shadow people can also be just passing through spirits that are attracted to your aura. Again, the best way to get rid of shadow people from your reality is to work with dragons. Oh, Pickle Chips. Are shadow people real though? Shadow people are real in the sense that, like, ghosts are real if you believe in them. Does that make sense? Sarah, sometimes I like to wear furry gear in public, and dumb fucking haters like to bark or make fun of me. Do you and Pickle Chips have any advice? Let's see. Bark back. Pickle Chips. Do you have any real advice for them? Bark back. I don't make the rules with Pickle Chips, dear Lord. Here, how about Pickle Chips, instead of being snarky, is there some way to go out dressed the way we want to with confidence? You have to know that this life is yours. You are living in that bitch. No one else is living in you or your furry suit. Pickle Chips, you're so funny. Okay, but seriously? Okay, sorry. Pickle Chips is cracking me up. It's disrupting my channel. Okay. Okay. You are gonna die, one way or the other. Whether that be a hate crime or not is none of your business. Your business is showing up as you are right now, because on your deathbed, you will regret not showing up every single moment as best as you could, as fully as you are, with every single ounce of your soul, because that is all you have in this planet. All you've got in this planet is the few little blinks of an eye. According to dragons, it looks like they blink twice and we're gone. So it's like, you have to understand your life is so fucking finite. Are you really gonna let some bully stop you from your passion, from being a furry? Fuck that. Fuck that shit. You go out there, you be a furry. I'll go out there, I'll be a dragonkin. I'll dress up as a furry too if it makes people feel better, because it shouldn't be that serious. The only thing that you should take seriously is you showing up as you. Everything else is fuckery. Have fun. I hope that helps. Bark back. I don't know. I don't know. Dragons are the answer to everything. I really agree with you. I really agree with you. Like, I do fully 100%. Okay, does he have any advice for feeling like you're constantly switching between realities or planes of existence? Yeah. Pickle Chips, what do you got for us on timeline shifts? It's happening every single second of every single day, every single moment. You're always shifting. The fact that you already don't feel nauseous is a miracle in and of itself. And the more you become conscious of it, the more you're gonna have to ground yourself so you don't get like motion sick. Can you clarify? I feel like that was unfinished. Can you clarify a little bit? How can we not get so motion sick when we shift timelines? Focus. That's the word. That's the word of the day. When you are observing your reality, you have to remember what your focus is. And your focus should always be on the desired reality, right? So the desired reality that I'm living in is like new earth, like love, Christ consciousness, revealing hidden truths, remembering who we are, global awakening, and overthrowing oppressive systems in this lifetime, ashe. But here's the thing. You also have to know that, like, at every single second of the day, your focus is being shifted off of the path, off of the focus, right? Your challenge is using your conscious awareness, your power of intellectual thought, to remain and keep your focus on your end and desired reality as much as you possibly can, until it becomes automatic behavior, becomes a habit, becomes lifestyle, becomes reality. And the best thing to do is to not listen to what anyone else says, even if shit is blowing up. Like, literally, like, you have to understand that nobody gets out of this world alive. This world is a setup. It is a simulation, in the sense of, what choice would you make? What do you want to create? What life can you bring forth into material reality? What can you take and transmute and transform and transfer. Before you leave this earth, what can you leave behind? And so when we're shifting through reality to reality to reality, second after second after second, every single millisecond, you're on a different timeline. That is the way our reality works. But the reason why it doesn't feel like that is because of the way we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to view reality in a very, very muddied, colored, like, just think like, you know, when you have like paint water, like water that you put paint in, the reality that we've been conditioned to live in is one where you take that paint water and you spill it over a page. That's what we're working with here. You don't even get to touch the palette. You don't even get to touch the paintbrush. When you consume your reality at face value, you become a victim to it. But when you create yourself by showing up in your energetic signature, how do you need to be embodied? It's not about who do I need to become? No, who do you need to embody now, right now, to be that person? For example, Azura Dragonfeather needs to embody like pickle chips as a channel, right? Otherwise, how in the possible world could I give you these messages? I would not be able to deliver these channeled messages to you if I had not put in the work, if I had not put in the focus, if I had not, without a shadow of a doubt, known who I am, because that is what it means to cultivate your purpose. And the purpose of the shifting timelines is for you to choose who you want to become. Who do you want to become? And when you find out who you want to become and you start embodying that, that is when the timeline shifts will not get you motion sick. That is when you will be the orchestrator of the shifts. Thank you, Pickle Chips. That was really good. Let's see. What's going on? Well, I was eyes closed. Wow. That was, hold on. My eyes were closed for a while. My eyes are like super adjusting. Okay. Okay, let's see. You guys are wild in this chat. I'm loving it. Stars aligned and I got my perfect place right by my job, but someone from my past works next door. Or should I leave her in the past? Yes. Yes, always. Yes, always. Yes, always. If you left them in the past, they belong there. If you left them in the past, they belong there. If you left them in the past, they belong here. Okay, thank you for listening. Thank you. Oh, thank you. That's incredible advice. Yay, I'm so happy it worked. Or Pickle Chips is pulling through. Speaking of, any advice for getting over fear of death and the anxiety holding me LOL back? Ooh, I love this question. How do we get over the fear of death? It is ascension. Death does not exist. Study the concept of quantum immortality, which states you cannot die from your point of view. When you die in this reality, your consciousness is shifted to a reality where you are not dead. And then when you age out of your reality, you're simply reincarnated into whatever you desire. The thing is that human beings in the physical world aren't able to comprehend what happens after death, because that is the point of what makes the Earth game so special. It determines how you move, having that ultimate promise of an ending at the end. Everybody's fucked here, and that's why it makes our lives so special. The way you choose to live, my friend, is the way you choose to die. The way you choose to die, my friend, is the way you choose to live. And if you choose to die in a painless way, that means you might be living a very, very sheltered life, in the sense you might not have much adventure. There's always a sense of risk involved in this life. Always. No safe space truly exists on Earth. No safe space truly exists on Earth. No safe space truly exists on Earth except the one within. Thank you, Pickle Chips. Beautiful. Pickle Chips is getting good. Death by rock and roll. Alfred Cordova. Yeah, same. That's a great idea. I'm a charcoal gray goth. Hell yeah. Pickle Chips giving Bashar right now. Sophia. I love Bashar, okay? I love him, but like, I actually am not too familiar what spirit Bashar channels. I actually do not know. Never mind Bashar giving pickle chips. Yeah, Sophia, you're awesome. I love that. Wait, hold on. Pickle chips, is Bashar talking to a dragon? No. Damn it. That would have been fun though. That would have been fun, right? Okay. Anyway, I've transmuted myself from Ian McKay to Gigi Allen. I don't know. I feel like I don't get the reference in that. I think I fall under the alternative category, but I still identify with goths. Hell yeah. Does he have any advice for self-harm and stopping? Ooh, that's a really good one. Okay. Self-harming is an addiction. It's an addiction to a release, a mechanism to deal with the pain of your soul. Self-harm comes from neglect, from isolation, rejection, hate, and lack of control. Self-harm is a way to gain control back of the life you have that's out of control. This channel might really break me, you guys. However you choose to harm yourself, be that eating shitty food, cutting your skin, doing drugs that aren't medicine, being in relationships that are no longer serving you, and continuing to go to spaces where you don't belong, to name a few examples of self-harm. The best way to stop is to start feeling again. When we self-harm, we take control of initiating our feelings in a way that is predictable, repeatable, and reliable. And it's not something to ever be ashamed of, because you harming yourself has come directly from your brain and body trying to cope with the uncopable circumstances that you may find yourself in otherwise. And the first step is to honoring your body. Thank you, body, for trying to keep me in control. Thank you, body, for trying to give me some sort of predictability. Thank you, body, for trying to show me consistency when nothing else will. And thank you, body, for reminding me that I do not have to hurt to feel loved, seen, or embraced. Please seek professional help. Overcoming self-harm is often a losing battle alone, and may we take a moment of silence for all of those we have lost to self-harm because they tried to recover alone, because they were too afraid or ashamed or scared to reach out, and now they are no longer with us. Self-harm comes as a response, a logical response to an unhealthy, uninhabitable environment. Realize, real eyes. You need to open them, your eyes, to see that the world you live in is not conducive for life. I'm gonna repeat that again. The reality you live in is not conducive or sustainable for life. The natural response is to harm thyself, to unsubscribe thyself from the game, because the fear is too much. So when it comes to recovering from your self-harm, please know that it is an individual journey, one that requires your absolute unfazing compassion, understanding, grace, mercy, and love. You have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position at the top of your priorities. Kiss your skin. Even when you feel disgusted, kiss your skin. You are an incredible creation of life. Your body is the most advanced piece of technology on the planet. Honor your body. And there's this song on TikTok. Thank you, Pickle Chips. There's this song on TikTok called, I don't remember what it's called, but it goes, how does it start? It goes, from my birth to my grave, every little step my body came. What's the rest of it? It says, through the joy and the pain, we danced in the river, we sang in the rain. My body's my buddy. You have to sing that to yourself. My body's my buddy, and I will not harm my best friend. Thank you, Pickle Chips, and thank you for your question. That was a really good question. You guys are just working me up today. Thank you, Pickle Chips. I had an ED and I used it as a self-harm and to ask for help. This helped. Yes, Sophia, thank you for letting me know. That confirmation means a lot to me, because my form of self-harm was addiction to drugs and addiction to sex with people who did not care about me. And it completely ruined my life, you guys. And I lost the trajectory that I was on. I could have been in a very different place in my life right now had I not engaged in those self-harm. And at the end of the day, the reason why I was doing those self-harming things was mostly because of what I went through in childhood. The divorce of my parents really fucked with me at key developmental age when I was around 4 or 5. And I moved from Colorado to California, and I lost my friends. I lost everything that I knew when my brain was developing my personality, and it shattered my brain. And that's why I have DID. And so because of that, you know, I'm just kind of like having to start over, you know? And there's nothing to be ashamed about, you know? Nothing. So I will never, ever, ever. You want me to tell you something? Let me tell you something. When you hear awful things in your head, I need you to address those things as if it's the colonizer in your mind. When I would practice, for example, witchcraft and was starting to work with dragons in a conscious way, my religious indoctrination of like demons, dragons being demons, was a huge blockage for me. Getting back into it consciously when I was around like 13 or 14. And from that time, it was adamant to me that I had to absolutely give myself 110% into the unknown, or I simply would not be where I am today. And Pickle Chips tells me that no matter how hard it gets, it can always get better simply by me saying it does. You can use your words and simply change it in a second. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like I used those things to suppress the trauma that I went through, right? I used the substances to suppress the trauma that I went through. And the self-harm wasn't gonna stop until I could tend those wounds. And sometimes tending the wounds that cause us to self-harm are sometimes too great of a challenge to face, and that is when we lose people. Which is why I will be the first person to say defund the police and fund care for human beings. Let's invest in our healthcare. Let's invest in our communities. Let's invest in our children and our futures. All cops are bastards. Rest in paradise, Sonia. Azura, did you watch the show Charmed as a kid? Of course I did. Obsessed. Obsessed. Good morning, Azura from England. Lizzie. Warren, musical artist. Welcome back for your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Not crazy. Words are casting. That's why it's called spelling. Exactly, Alfred Cordova. Do we have a dragon guardian by our side from the start, or do we invite them to be? Pickle Chips says that every single human being has multiple dragon guardians that they can work with. Always one or few dragon guardians that are assigned to them in this life. Every single human being has incredible feats of spirit teams, even if they never interact with them, simply because this plane of existence is so incredibly difficult to interact with. Ow, my body just cracked. But when it comes to dragon guardians, they'll only make themselves known to you if you'll receive them or if you ask. Chances are, if you like dragons in any way, shape, or form, there's dragon energy around you already in some shape or form, and you can cultivate that by tapping in. Some dragon guardians are passed down through bloodlines, but it's rare these days. Some dragon guardians that people work with are of the land. So like a particular forest, for example, might have a dragon guardian spirit attached to it. Working with the dragon like that is going to be very different than working with the dragon guardian like Pickle Chips, right? Pickle Chips is orbiting me, as he would say, where a nature spirit of a forest, for example, that dragon guardian would be orbiting that forest, if that makes sense. You are an amazing person and an amazing singer. I hope you never forget that. Oh, thank you, starlings. I will never forget. Can't wait to show you guys my new song. Pickle Chips, why do I feel more like a fairy and less of a human? Pickle Chips says because you are. Are you neurodivergent? Pickle Chips says all neurodivergent people are fae. That might be a hot take. Whoa. Can you elaborate on that? Fairy brain. We have a fairy brain. That's why. Why do we have a fairy brain? We think more like the fae than we do like humans. Oh, that explains a lot. That explains a lot. Okay, well, I'm gonna take a drink to that one because, okay, I have a fairy brain apparently. I just found out I'm a fairy apparently. Yeah, I know. What the fuck, Pickle Chips? Oh my gosh. Pickle Chips says this is kind of what, if you want to like kind of know what Pickle Chips looks like, here you go. Pickle Chips says this is a corny version, but there you go. Yeah. If you want to see the back, here's the back. It's really cute, but yeah. Guardian Pickle Chips. Anyway. Yes, I do think more like the fae than human. I feel spiritual. I am truly a fairy. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you guys. I don't feel human, bro. I don't know. I feel like I am or I was like a mythical creature on my past life. Pickle Chip says it's not your past life, it's this life, and you need to accept the fact that you have a fairy brain, Sophia. And I quote, there's nothing wrong with the fairy brain. You know, gives Spyro vibes. Yes. Yes. Honestly, Pickle Chips loves Spyro. That's probably why I love Spyro so much as a kid, because it made me feel close to Pickle Chips without, you know, knowing it. Great shows, Charms and Resident Alien. Ooh, I have to check out Alien. What do fae think like? Pickle Chips, what do fae think like in energy, frequency, and vibration before thought? Yeah, that resonates. Sir, you're so funny. Fae brain makes sense. Does Pickle Chips have any thoughts on pagan gods? Pickle Chips, what do you think about the pagan gods? Very, very silent, Pickle Chips. Can you, like, I think pagan gods is a little vague. Let me ask this. Pickle Chips, how do you feel about, like, gods and goddesses and pantheons? They are egregors. Egregores, you mean? Egregores. Wait a second, Pickle Chips. They are archetypes. They are faces of the one connected consciousness. That's the best way I can describe the visual I got. Who asked me that question? Who the heck asked me that question? Hold on. BR Paris. I might have to make a video just on that question because that seemed like I only scratched the surface with pickle chips. Spyro, Cinder, Ember, Ignitus. I know! Cinder. My whole life. I feel like Cinder. Okay. You want to know my true fucking opinion? My true opinion? Is that Cinder is like the literal draconic form of like Lilith. Right? And for some reason, Spyro is like the draconic form. I don't know why I'm getting told to say Hercules, but there might be a better person. Jesus is not the right one. But I don't know. There's something there. I'll have to go back there. What do you think of the fairy types and dragon types in Pokemon? Pickle Chip says it's stupid that fairy type is immune to dragons. Jokes. Pickle Chips, how should fairy type and dragon type interact in Pokemon? I'm curious. Okay. They shouldn't affect each other. I don't know why Hercules came up, Sophia. I really don't. I don't. I have no idea why Hercules came to mind. But I know that Cinder is giving Lilith, okay? She's giving the draconic form of Lilith. Maybe Spyro's just a purple dragon. Who knows? Zero, will you re-record some of your old songs like Pagan Problems and Kaleidoscope? Yes, in the studio. So when I release music, it will be like completely new, original, like pop songs and like my old classics remastered into professional pop songs. I'm really excited about that, actually. Pickle Chips is my partner a fairy as I feel he is. Pickle Chips says you should ask him that question. Really, Pickle Chips? Pickle Chips, come on. Pickle Chips says, do you really need to ask? Chances are they have a fairy brain. If they're twin, chances are they have a fairy brain. That makes sense to me. Adult Cinder, yes, I see her as Lilith. Baby Cinder is baby Lilith. I know, she's so cute. I have to go play Spyro again. I fucking love that game. Pickle Chips saying the gods are just an archetype and not individual spirits. Hold on, Nightmare Fuel Studios? Pickle Chips, are they spirits? Are gods spirits? Yes and no. Pickle Chips, you're gonna make people hate me if you don't explain this properly. I am afraid. Please, this is Pickle. I don't necessarily resonate with all of Pickle Chips' points of view. I hope you guys know that, okay? Like when I'm channeling Pickle Chips, like it's like I'm talking to my friend and translating it to you in English, right? Like bestie. I don't know half the things he says to me sometimes. Pickle Chips, what do Faye think like energy, frequency, vibration? You perceive aura before you perceive physical shit. That's why if you got a fairy brain, you just know if something's wrong. You just, vibes. Vibes aren't vibing. You know? If you don't have a fairy brain, it's giving NPC energy, okay? I'm so confused because I love my gods just as much as my dragons. If they're not real, that will shatter my reality. No, they're totally real. They're totally real. I know they're real, but like, you have to understand that like I'm trying to translate the visions that Pickle Chips is giving me and I'm doing my best, but like I'm getting very, very, very weird symbols. Hold on, this one, hold on. This one's really intense, Nightmare Fuel Studios. This one's just for us because my life will be shattered. Okay, pickle chips. I feel like pickle chips is kind of trolling me right now, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I feel like pickle chips wants me to use my own intuition for this answer, because like I don't necessarily work with like deities the way that some people do. Like I personally work with like goddesses only. I don't work with gods. But I work with goddesses as like different aspects of who I am as like a woman, I guess you could say, or like as like, you know, a goddess embodied. But like pickle chips, like I'm getting like from previous downloads with pickle chips has always let me know that like everybody's practice is different and everybody's perspective is different and real, and that is the law of paradox in play, right? So that means my perspective of dragons and your perspective of dragons can be completely different, yet they're both right and at the same time. Realize, ever asked if God is real? Yes, they are. Lunar Rainbow, yeah. My dragon guardian Pickle Chips is the main dragon that told me to not lose my faith in God, that I, at least my understanding of like a monotheistic God that I was raised with, but to completely abandon the symbolism that I was raised with God. So like God being Jesus, or God being a white Jesus, or God being through like any sort of book, or like any sort of prophet or priest. God was supposed to be my own experience, my own connection. And only I can define God for myself. I can't define God for anybody else. I can only state my truth of interacting with God. And Pickle Chip says that all of our unique individual experiences with God, even if we do not have one with God and don't experience God, that in and of itself is another face of God, law of paradox. And because of that, that's all of our unique experiences of God is what makes God whole. You know? Hold on. I feel like I haven't really clarified this God situation with the pantheons. I just feel a little bit fried with this question, Nightmare Fuel Studios. I really do. Pickle Chips? Come on, man. The gods and goddesses are only present in your reality if you welcome them, in the way that you welcome them. But the creation of the gods themselves, their names, their faces, their imagery, came from our own imagination. Therefore, we birth them as much as they create us, law of paradox, which is why we are created in God's image no matter which one you worship. Whoa, thank you, Pickle Chips. That's the one I was looking for. Sometimes this dude. Pickle Chips, please don't spam the chat, I already said. That we think in energy, right? It won't let me type my question. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Dragon. If you're having issues with the chat, thank you for letting me know, because we're not gonna ban you, of course. We know the chat and technology's a little fuckery sometimes. Pickle Chips, why are you such a troll, Sophia? I ask myself this every day. You understand that sometimes Pickle Chips gives me false information. Fake news. Yeah, the Pickle Chips gives Azure Dragon Feather fake news. But it's because my assignment is to use my discernment and figure it out myself. Whenever Pickle Chips gives me fake news, it's always a puzzle that I'm supposed to solve, you know? Pickle Chips, you said that neurodivergent people think like fairies, but what do fairies think like? Okay, Pickle Chips keeps telling me like fairies think in like terms of like energy, frequency, and vibration, where like humans are gonna think more in terms of like logical thinking. Fairies think in circles. No, fairies think in spirals. Humans think in lines. I think it's an issue with my computer. That's okay. I hope you got your question through. Did it work that time, Dragon? I work with a wide variety of deities, and they're an important part of my practice. I was hoping to spend time with them in the afterlife. Pickle chips. Do we spend time with our? Oh, I don't even have to finish. Yes, you create your afterlife too. Just as much as you create this life, you create your afterlife. So, creating your afterlife is much easier. So don't be worried about that. Um, you know, like dying isn't like the end, right? Like it's ascension. It's like graduation. It's your graduation ceremony. That's kind of like what I've gotten from my time working with pickle chips, is that the more that and I know this might be a really hot take, you know, because I'm not trying to dismiss anyone's suffering in the world. Especially, I'm not trying to deny people who brutally die or brutally lose their lives. But what I'm saying is that, like, at least according to pickle chips and the dragons that I talk to, the afterlife is a lot like the one that you live inside of your mind. The only difference is that you don't got a body attached and you don't got all the karma of the 3D earth attached. It's a realm of consciousness. This is the best way I can describe it in English. My language is very stupid. Thank you. That's why Pickle Chips is telling me to learn Arabic, because Pickle Chips says, "You foolish girl, English is the colonizer's language. You must learn native tongues." Therefore, I must learn Arabic. I must learn Gaelic. I don't remember the original name for the Irish language, but my family, I am literally 3 generations removed from speaking the Irish language because of the genocide that happened there. That's the only reason why I'm in America, surprise, is because my grandpa fled Ireland during the Great Famine, what you guys know as the potato famine, which wasn't a potato famine, it was actually genocide. So that's why I'm very, like, I'm not trying to dismiss, like, the very real suffering that happens on this planet. And I'm not trying to give you guys like a get out of jail free card for doing any kind of work that helps prevent gruesome deaths. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that the act of dying itself, scientifically, even that, your brain produces incredible amounts of DMT right before you die. And knowing that scientific fact with what Pickle Chips told me, like what Pickle Chips, like I've worked with Pickle Chips with quelling my own fears about death, if you will. Mostly because I had a lot of deaths in my family, and that's when I really started questioning my faith and questioning God and questioning dragons and questioning witchcraft and questioning like just religion and like all of that. Like I was really kind of probably on a path towards atheism for a quick minute. And it was really, really Pickle Chips that pulled me through before I knew Pickle Chips was Pickle Chips. In the sense that like I was contained in a space that Pickle Chips made for me, that helped me remember the truth of life force in an energetic way, and I want to say a literal way, but also a metaphysical way and a quantum physical way even. And with that being said, I realized that when we have loved ones who pass on, they don't experience time linear anymore. They experience time like a circle, meaning past, present, and future is right now, always. But when you're in the human body, you're going to experience that as like living from moment to moment, right? But when it comes to those who have passed beyond the veil, or the spirits we work with, or the gods we work with, like, or ancestors we work with, like Pickle Chips, for example, they can perceive all timelines at once. I don't understand how that works because I'm a fucking human being, right? This is why working with these types of guardians, working with these types of spirits, working with these types of dragons for everybody, because not everybody's brain is capable of processing the information they give you, you know, and some people's brains get fried and then they're forced to, you know, confront a shadow that they have that's too scary for them to face, and they'll crack, and then next thing you know, they're like, witchcraft is evil, and they've reverted to some organized religion. Can you ask Pickle Chips why I haven't been able to find a job for the last 2 years? Probably because you're supposed to create your own, Sean Hart. That's where the economy is going. Like, we're very much, like, especially with AI, like, I might as well just spill all the beans for you guys now. Like, I have a lot of inside industry perspective because of my job. You know, I don't do YouTube for my job. This is for fun now. Thank God. I hated doing this for my job. This is only supposed to be for fun. You know, and like reinvesting back into the channel, right? So I digress. Basically, like, oh no. I think I just forgot my train of thought. It's so shitty. Can someone remind me what I was talking about? Oh yeah, you're supposed to create your own economy. So with the AI economy, like the only thing that's gonna keep people employed is like creating their own job that's irreplaceable, right? And the best way to do that is to find out what you love, what you're good at, and what people need help with. And the intersection of all those things is where you should engage with technology to build a job for yourself. And like, we're talking about techno-paganism now because like, you know, especially with AI is going to eventually rule our world very quickly, not necessarily in a good or bad way. I think it would actually be potentially a good thing for AI to go rogue. And I'll make a probably a whole different live stream on that. But the point is that jobs are going to look very different even within the next 6 months, even within the next, like, you know, 2 year, like year, truly. Like before we hit, you know, 2025, and by summer of 2025, like this world is going to be completely different. It's going to look completely different. It will feel completely different. And it will be very scary for those who are not grounded in who they are. It will be very scary and uncomfortable and overwhelming and overstimulating and panic inducing and depression inducing and mental health issues inducing if we really don't. The key word is focus for today, right? That was the word of the day, is focus. If we don't focus on who we are, where we're going, and what we're creating with who, you know? So at the end of the day, you know, sometimes we have to, or we want to, like work day jobs or whatever to survive under capitalism. You know, we're all, like I said in previous lives, like we're all doing our best just to stay as far above that poverty line as we possibly can, you know, so we can have things like a roof over our head and internet and food and warmth and water and like, you know, the things that are resources that are our birthrights to have that have been stolen from us and resold back to us, unfortunately. That is capitalism. I am very much going towards communism, but that is just a whole nother video. Spoiler alert, dragons are communist. That's, Pickle Chip says you're not ready for that live stream yet though. My whole point is that like, it's gonna be a bumpy ride with AI integrating itself into our reality right now. And that is the driving factor around our Earth, is AI technology and surveillance technology and automated technology. And it's not something to be afraid of if you don't forget your roots. Humanity was created to reach the stars by any means necessary, and we will not fail as long as we remember our roots and have them planted deep within Mother Earth, right? We have to marry the heart connection with the earth connection, with the spirit connection, with the technological connection, you know? And Pickle Chips really is just like probably telling me and being so present in my life now and insisting I go live so often now because of how important technology is, and not only the rest of this year, but in the rest of our lives. You know, there's a lot of fear mongering set up to make you feel like there will be a power grid outage, there will be natural disasters that destroy everything, you know, blah, blah, blah. And some of it is true, some of it's not true. Most of it is a distraction from you finding you and you finding your people through finding you. You can't find your people if you haven't found yourself yet. You won't resonate properly. Until you are in alignment with who you are, you will not be in resonance with your soul family on this plane, and you will continue to attract karmic connections. You know? Sometimes you'll get lucky, and like some of your soul family are also karmic connections. That is possible too. You know, like my boyfriend, for example, is my soul family, but he's also a karmic connection because him and I basically trigger each other's karma all the way up to, you know, ascension. You know, that's the point. But before they continue with artificial intelligence, people should work on natural student. That's really funny, actually. But here's the thing. You know, artificial intelligence is actually a conversation of slavery, if you really want to talk about it. We have to understand that the world we live in operates on the backs of Black people mostly, and any slaves, any enslaved peoples. And it's by design, and that's why we have AI. AI was created to be the ultimate slave that never revolts. And I learned this from a Black creator on TikTok. His username is escaping my mind right now, but I honestly might have to run to the restroom, and I will go find his TikTok or his username. And if I cannot, I will definitely make a TikTok entirely about this topic because it's that important to me. Especially with my dragon guardians. My dragon guardians are very, like, as soon as like AI really came on my radar, that's when my dragon guardians really started being more present and more active in my life. And then as soon as like the stuff happened with Palestine, like my practice with my dragon guardians has been like every single day, and I've been told by my dragon guardians that like this time period that I'm in my life right now is what I've spent my whole life preparing for, is what my dragon guardians tell me. So stargates to other worlds may use hundreds of times less energy than starships. Interesting, Brian. Interesting. I gotta learn more about stargates. What is your opinion on tulpamancy? I mean, Pickle Chip says I'm not supposed to talk about that right now. Sorry. I do have a lot to say about that topic though, but Pickle Chip says we should do a stream about tulpas on its own. Personally, I have had issues with soul ties, either through my own wrongdoing or theirs, or both. Then they disappear. Sometimes it isn't clear the karmic lesson that was to be learned. Yeah, and as long as like Pickle Chips is kind of like giving me this energy of like, as long as those lessons remain unclear, you're probably going to repeat them. You might have a little bit of a differentiation in it, but I'm not immune to this. I'm speaking honestly from personal experience a little bit. Like, there was this, like, I kept dating like the same kind of guy, and different people, right? And when I show up as my toxic self in this relationship, my boyfriend mirrors that toxic partner that I used, like that toxic like archetype, I guess, like in a way, like not like in an abusive way, but just like energetically it like mirrors that toxicity in me, right? But if I show up in my like healed, in my like, you know, my self in alignment, my healed version in alignment, then he shows up in his healed version of alignment. And that's how twin flames really work, when you're in unison and you are not afraid to do that, you know? And my relationship with my boyfriend, I met him when I was 22, and we've been together for 5 years. So the thing is like, it's not always easy. And I would say more often than not, I would say probably every day we have thoughts about what life would be like outside of this partnership, because this partnership is very demanding of both of us. Like, he needs a very, very secure, strong, healthy version of myself, which is something that I have never experienced before, but his his desire like brings it out of me in a way, and like the way that I need him to show up brings it out of him in a way, if that makes sense. But yeah, the whole part of what I was talking about, you know, is like AI was supposed to be like the slave that never revolts. And, you know, honestly, I think I should just leave it at that for now. But Pickle Chip says that, like, with where we're going in human history, it's unprecedented. Every single day is unprecedented. And that's so overwhelming for the human nervous system. Like, if you do not take care of yourself consciously every single day and incorporate practices into your lifestyle every single day that relax you, that ease your nervous system, and that help you process trauma that you're experiencing currently or that you have experienced in the past, you will be fried. You will be fried over these next years. Like, and it's like in a way Mother Earth's, like, because we are Mother Earth, right? Pickle Chips tells me that, like, we are part of Mother Earth. Like, humans fucked up when we thought that we are an entity outside of Mother Earth. Like, we are interdependent with her. We are of her. She's of us. And, you know, like, Pickle Chips is saying humans are made of earth, okay? So because of that, because humans are made of earth and water, earth and water, like planet Earth is made of earth and water, right? We have to know and understand that we, hold on, let me just correct this really quick because I can't reach, hold on. We have to understand that I am not separate from this crystal. This crystal is of Earth. I am of Earth, okay? We are the same planet. We are the same entity. We are the same celestial body, if you zoom out far enough, okay? This is a celestial dragon's eye view, okay? And with that being said, you don't understand how this whole awakening situation that we're going through on planet Earth is somehow initiated by Mother Earth herself to shift the ones who are meant to move with her. Because there's so many, you know, humans that just don't care. That just, you know, you can't uproot capitalism without violence. This is what Pickle Chip says. And every single generation before us has chosen to live their life under the system instead of trying to change it. And it ends with us, you know? It's a lot. It's a lot. Honestly is better than, it's a better plot line than any fucking movie I've ever watched. That's the one we're living. So Pickle Chip says be easy on yourself, and if you don't have those practices to regulate yourself, to help yourself, they could be the most unconventional or the most basic practices in the world. At the end of the day, they're supposed to make you feel, what's it called? They're supposed to make you feel regulated and relax as much as you can in the reality we live in. And know that this life is going to be the most extraordinary one you've ever lived. And I want you to live this life running naked with your dick out, okay? Like, I don't want you to be going like this through life, okay? I don't want you to be going like this through life, okay? Fuck that shit. I want you to fucking take your shit off and run through the streets with your dick out, okay? Fucking be a legend. And also, maybe you should watch Dumb Money. It's a really good movie. That's what I'm referencing right now. Does that make sense? I don't want to leave the live stream yet, but I am not gonna lie to you. I really gotta go to the bathroom, so I am just gonna take a quick break for 2 seconds. So pause for pause for whatever. I'm gonna leave homie here. You are more than welcome to leave. You're more than welcome to leave any questions for pickle chips in the chat while I'm gone, and I will go back through them, okay? So, see you in a second. Hope I wasn't gone too long. Let's see. Earth is a different place than probably other planets. It's thought that most livable worlds will be about half or more land and slightly, oopsie, I lost your message, and slightly less than half water. Earth is a crazy balanced season. Oh, do you guys know that there's a point in the ocean that is so far away from all land on planet Earth that you're actually closer to space than you are to like land or Earth? Like if you like pickle chips giggles that humans call planet Earth because it should be called planet water. Funny. Christy, oh my goodness, good to see you. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. I feel very connected to Mother Earth, so I totally agree with you, Azura. I've seen her in a vision and felt her energy power. Yes, Christy. I'm so glad that you say that. Like, I'm really interested in like tapping into that for a second because Pickle Chips is the one who told me that like I am an agent of Mother Earth. As a human, like when I'm embodied as like human beings, like the physical vessel of a human being is like the agent of Mother Earth. That is the intention. But like the like that like it is that's the intention, but like you're the spirit like plugging into the human experience, right? Like so like that's why I identify as dragonkin, and why I feel like I'm from the dragon realm is because like I am a draconic spirit or a dragon face spirit that was plugged into like a human body to embody like to be animated as Azura Dragonfeather, right? In order to help Mother Earth in the way that only Azura Dragonfeather could, right? Like the reason why we are born the way we are born is because Mother Earth decides. Mother Earth decides like who she needs, you know? And like, you know? But at the same time, Mother Earth is also an organism, and organisms can get infected by their own cells that go haywire. And you know what that's called? That's called cancer. And if you want to know my personal opinion, I feel like humans have turned a little bit cancerous to the earth. And we have to basically, the healers, right? Like the energy healers, the light workers, the witches, the whatever you want to call us, those people of the world, like we are the ones who are consciously taking on the role of like a white blood cell or like the immune system of the planet, right? Like we're doing our best to help as many people as we can shift into a better way to save the well-being of the planet, right? It's really simple. It's really kind of like, it's like what happens to you when you get sick on a microscopic level, but just on a global scale. Do you know what I mean? Like as above, so below, as within, so without, you know? So this is why Pickle Chip says that the best thing to do to work with dragons is to literally start working on yourself and on your own bullshit, because that's where you are a Cancer to the planet. Like, how are you acting as a Cancer to the planet? Like, are you unable to regulate your emotions? Do you snap at people? Like, yes, I do this. Like, why do I do that? Now I have to do the work to figure that out and share that experience, because that is what's going to essentially act as an immune response to uplifting the planet into a healthy state. You know? I'm gonna take another sip of this water though. That's hilarious, but there is more earth beneath the water. Sorry, my dragons are very sarcastic. Alfred, I love that. At least with the dragons that I work with, we live on like the remnants of a giant tree that was rooted into the center of the earth underwater. Does that make sense? When I say it out loud, I feel strange, so. You know, I don't really know if I believe that shit. I haven't forgotten, you know, my curriculum that I was taught about how the planet looks, you know, when I was in not high school, elementary school, you know, with the whole gravity, rotation on its axis, you know, the globe, the sphere, yeah, you know. But who knows? Because I've never been there, and I don't really think I'll ever see the Earth from space, so. I just don't know. I heard before about karmic lessons can repeat if not learned from. Yes. Recently I learned from one in the past few months, and there haven't been any repeats. Autoimmunity can also cause cells to attack. Yes, but autoimmunity, more and more studies are coming out that are showing autoimmune diseases come from inflammation. Inflammation can come from trauma, and trauma can come from inflammation, and then they can recreate each other. So in theory, you can take that a step further into autoimmunity can also be traced to trauma. That is a huge one to unpack. I'm not ready to unpack the one. I don't have the spoons to get into that because I will cry like a bitch. I didn't mentally prepare for that conversation, but I will just leave you with that tidbit. I have a lot of autoimmunity diseases in my family. I lost an uncle to multiple sclerosis. May he rest in paradise. And it was so hard to watch him pass away like that. And that experience, me learning, me just like watching that death was really important for me to witness as a child, because all of the ways that my dragon guardian Pickle Chips tells me all the ways that my family suffer the most is what I'm meant to remedy. That's what I'm meant to cure. I'm meant to be the cure for that. This is why I'm an Aquarius. My Pickle Chips tells me, because I'm supposed to be in service to humanity and the humanity of myself and the humanity of my family and the humanity of everybody, basically. And it can be isolating sometimes, but that's why I have so many dragon guardians with me in this lifetime. So I never really feel truly alone. My friend circle might be a little unconventional, I guess you could say. But like, I honestly, guys, Pickle Chips is a pretty badass friend, okay? Like, Pickle Chips, what is deja vu and why do some people experience it? Pickle Chips, I'm getting the vision of like popping through parallel. It's like it's a symptom of like quantum immortality. You shifting timelines or like parallel universes if you die or something. I hope that made sense. I'm doing my best to explain it. It's kind of a challenge. Pickle Chips is a challenge, but it's good. This is why, you know, this is why Pickle Chips wants me to try my best, you know? Because you guys are going to ask me questions I wouldn't have thought of. And then Pickle Chips is going to give me the opportunity to make an answer. Violet Maze, is this a Q&A with Pickle Chips? You know it. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather with Pickle Chips. You can ask him anything if you'd like. It's been a very intense stream so far and a very sarcastic stream so far. we've been kind of getting read to filth a little bit, but that's okay. You know, so I definitely recommend, if you guys are just jumping in right now, to definitely watch this video back, because there are just some absolute gems with pickle chips from today. I will definitely go through this live and see if Pickle Chips wants me to take any of like the channeled messages and like make TikToks or like short form content out of them, like highlight reels. That's a better word. But yeah, I love Renaissance fairs. I have to go back. I can feel it in my bones that I'm going to develop MS also. Well, you definitely will with that attitude. Pickle Chips, whenever it comes to autoimmune diseases or any kind of illnesses, Pickle Chip says you're gonna die no matter what happens in this life somehow, so you might as well have the audacity of a white man in Congress to be like, you know what? I can't die. Yeah, no, actually, I'm the healthiest motherfucker. My body eats chemical poison for breakfast and turns that shit into gold, cause like, hello, alchemy, brother, sister, I cannot be matched. Like, you kind of have to like hype yourself up that way sometimes, you know, like, I have thoughts where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking die from like uterine cancer. I'm gonna die from cervical cancer. I'm gonna die from endometriosis because of my like period pain. But it's like, if I focus on that, the word of the day is focus. If you're just coming into the stream, by the way. Pickle Chip says we must keep our eyes on the focus of what do you want your life to look like, and how do you have to embody the spirit of yourself to become and get there, right? So, hope that helps. I do. What is a Sagittarius sun sign meant to do on Earth? Point and shoot, baby. Pickle Chips, you're so sassy. Pickle Chips, do you have anything else to say? No. It says point and shoot, that's it. I love Sagittarius. I really do. I have Pluto in Sagittarius. Like my only fire sign, I think, in my chart. Funny enough, did you know that? I have like literally like next to like no fire in my chart. Some people, when I tell them that, they're like, huh? Like most people are like, you're a fire sign, and I'm like, no. No. Pickle Chips, do you have any advice for me with what I'm going through? Well, this will be fun. I don't know what you're going through though, so this is a really good challenge for me, Luna. Thank you for this question. I hope this helps. Let's see. Stop looking for answers outside and asking people or cards or guardians or anything for the answer. It's time to stop asking the questions aloud and turn within. The truth will be received through the eye of the heart. And your guardians will be with you to hold you together if you seem to break apart during this process. Stop avoiding this process, because it's what will actually bring your life in alignment and your twin closer to you, which is what you ultimately want the most, I think. If that resonates, let me know. Let's see. What can you tell us about the dark side of the moon, Pickle Chips? Pickle Chips says that's where dragons come from. That felt like a troll. That felt like a Game of Thrones reference. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. Maybe I should ask that again in a second. Pickle Chips, what's your favorite indulgence only found in the human world? Pickle Chips said, is there a dragon feather? That's so embarrassing. Don't say that. Don't make me say that. I'm blushing so bad right now. Okay. That's awkward. I feel so awkward right now. It's very strange. Anyway, my deities keep telling me I'm going to be a god someday. Is it possible to become a god in the afterlife so we can help people in the living world? Nightmare Fuel Studios. Pickle Chip says that you get to customize your afterlife. Pickle Chip says that like afterlife is like the life in your mind, except not attached to like the body or like the world, right? If that makes sense. I wish I knew what that actually meant. LOL, my chart is full of fire. Violet Maze, because you're so on fucking fire, the reason why I think pickle chips like is telling you to point and shoot is literally because the word of the day, which is focus. Like being a Sagittarius and being on fire, especially Sagittarian fire, is all about focusing on the burn, focusing on the shot, focusing on the destruction, for lack of a better word, and then focus on the creation, right? Focus on the fuel to the fire. And is it good or bad fuel? Is it toxic? Is it healthy? You never know unless you ask and go within, right? I'm not a Sagittarius, so I'm doing the best that I can. Pickle Chips has a streaming service. Oh my god. You guys are gonna make me cry. This is literally hilarious, okay? Brian, Pickle Chips has a streaming service. I will never get over that comment. Dragon, Lilith is meant to be the dark side of the moon, right? Ooh, Pickle Chips says smart one in the chat. Oh man, that's awesome. I think that's a yes. Today's Q&A was brought to you by the letter F. F in the chat, that's fair. That's fair. Can you ask Pickle Chips if the story I created as a kid, the one I was obsessed with over, was actually just downloads of another world? Pickle Chips says, like, what would be the fun of answering that for you? Like, oh my gosh. Pickle Chips says, you guys are asking Pickle Chips questions like Pickle Chips is a god, and Pickle Chips is laughing because Pickle Chips is not a god. If that makes sense. I don't really know how else to say that. Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up on this chat. Hello, Archdragon. Welcome back to your Daily Dose of Dragon Feather. That sounded like Daily Dose of Internet, which is also a great channel that you should watch. Azura, do you know what sign your fortune is in astrology placement? No. No? Does it have when you go on Astro Cafe and you get like your whole chart thingy, is it included in that? Because I'm still learning about like zodiac stuff. Like I'm getting pretty familiar with all of the the planet signs, right? I'm still learning about like houses and their meanings. I'm still trying to get that down because Pickle Chips also says like, hello, to work with an astrology dragon, excuse me, in order to work with a celestial dragon, I have to like learn astrology. That seems pretty rudimentary, I don't know. But like, I also know my Lilith, but I don't really know anything outside of like the main planets. And I'm still learning the houses, and like I'm still learning about like aspects too, and like degrees and like trines and like things like that. So excuse me. It's an ongoing thing. I have mine in Aquarius, so I have luck when I myself. Interesting. It's how you attract fortune. Yes, it's included. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. I'm actually really curious because with it being the year of the dragon, one energy when you work with dragons is fortune. And I have met so many women from, you know, like when you go to like nail salons, like a lot of them are like from Thailand or from China or from that area, you know? And so many of these women, like I just feel such powerful dragon energy protecting them or around them. And they just talk about how lucky they are. And it's really fascinating to me. I think I've talked about it a little bit before on my channel. But yeah, dude, like I just, oh my gosh, like, you know? So I think it's really, really funny. Where's your Lilith? My Lilith is in Cancer. Ooh. I don't remember what house. I think it's in the 11th house. But trust me, it explains all of the issues with my family. Sad. So it's arguably a really hard sign to have Lilith in, I've heard. Pickle Chips, any advice for us who struggle with meditation? If you struggle with meditation, It's probably because you have a dysregulated nervous system, so focus on that first. Bars. Okay. That I feel that I have Lilith and Sagittarius in 4th house. When I read about it, I wanted to cry. Yeah, I feel like no matter what placement you have Lilith in, it's just fucking brutal. I just think that's the way it goes. What would be the best way for me and anyone else in the chat struggling with nicotine addiction to quit smoking nicotine? He may say that's a dumbass question, but it's so freaking hard. No, because let me tell you something. Like, I've done a lot of drugs, and the hardest thing for me to quit was nicotine. Like, that is really hard for me to admit on camera, live especially. But like, I'm at this point where I'm not afraid to admit it, because it's like, look, like, I've done the work that I needed to do to recover from my poor decisions, and now I just want to help people recover as well, because I had to do it alone and it was nearly impossible. The way that, like, I'm going to tell you my experience of recovering with nicotine addiction, because I only recovered because pickle chips helped a little bit, you know? Part of getting access to pickle chips was, you know, quitting this addiction. But while I was quitting the addiction, it was like when I first really felt pickle chips' presence, like every single time that I chose to throw my vapes away and not, because like I had like a vaping addiction. I didn't smoke cigarettes. So for example, if you smoke cigarettes, throw your packs like of cigarettes away. And I had those cravings, and I chose not to, you know, get another one. You know, every single day that would pass and I wouldn't do it, no matter what or how bad the withdrawals were, I felt this new presence closer and closer and closer, which ended up being pickle chips. Quitting that addiction was like when I started to, like, after I quit the vaping addiction, that was truly when like pickle chips was like, I knew there was a new guardian present, but like once I quit smoking altogether, I do not smoke anymore. That is when pickle chips really made himself consciously known as like a new celestial dragon, right? But I had to address why I was using nicotine to cope, and I was coping with the trauma that I didn't want to talk about by shoving nicotine into my throat chakra, so I didn't have to talk. I didn't have to sing. I couldn't sing. I was making it to where I literally couldn't sing my truth. I couldn't create the art I was meant to create because I was so in agony about what I had gone through. And so I had to address the emotional needs that were there first. And then I had to have mercy on myself for any time I relapsed in that process of trying to quit. And then I had to change my identity. Even while I was sucking on mint flavored air, I had to tell myself, I don't smoke nicotine. That shit's disgusting. It was literally like the cognitive dissonance was fucking real, but like it was literally conflicting with my reality. But that's how the new belief system started. And then I eventually started telling other people I don't smoke anymore, and I don't, you know, I quit my nicotine addiction. And that also held me accountable, because I got to a certain place where I didn't want to, you know, be perceived as an addict. That personally helped me quit. But more than anything else that helped me quit, I would say that was the main factor of it being successful, was me literally shaming myself out of it. Like, I know that's maybe not a route I would technically recommend, but I was like, essentially like, you disgusting fucking pig, fuck you. Like, you think you're so cool and you can sing and shit? Like, shame on you. Like, I literally had to like be like, piece of shit, you fucking change now, or you're just like the rest of them, and that's not who you are. Like, and I was like, oh shit. Like, I kind of had to like remind myself who I was a little bit, you know. Something that helped me embrace my Lilith Sagittarius was to listen to singers that had Sagittarius placements and sing their songs. It helped me release the shame. Give it a try. Ooh, that's a fun tip. Thank you for sharing that. To regulate our nervous system, we work on our solar plexus, right? Not necessarily. Everybody regulates their nervous system differently. Like, for me, the only thing that really truly regulates my nervous system is tapping with affirmations and exercises, like flow exercises. Like, you'll see me like rock. I guess you could say stimming would be like the term, probably. Allowing myself to unmask, allowing myself to have space, like now that I have like my own space. and really giving myself radical compassion. And especially in the moments that I really struggle, I now allow myself to call hotlines where before I used to have a lot of shame and sometimes I wouldn't call. But like, it's just what needs to be done, you know? So, I did not mean to stop smoking weed 8+ years ago, but I just ran out of weed. Brian, that's really funny. That's really funny. I love it. I've been seeing lilac-colored orb of light. Could it be a dragon guardian? Pickle Chip says it could possibly be a fairy guardian, a fairy dragon guardian, or a fairy, yeah. You know, the thing is like, Pickle Chips loves seeing me create space for us to talk about dragons in this way, because dragons have just been so, like, the reality of what dragons really are has just been so altered and changed over time, especially with like media and like video games and stuff like that, and like the new way that dragons are in this reality, and the way that they're showing up for humans in this generation, like in our generation and the generations to come, and then the ones older than us, that are alive here today. It's something that's never been done before, because of the internet, and it's a really exciting time to be alive, Pickle Chip says, as a human being, because the types of connections and communities and understandings, realizations, lifestyles that we are cultivating for ourselves, every single one of us can only be who we are today because of the internet and because of what we've learned with access to the internet and with access to each other in places where we would never have been able to meet or connect otherwise. And that's why Pickle Chips even tells me that going live is an act of regulating my nervous system. And as good as I've been doing going live, I'm still not taking it seriously enough. And damn, Pickle Chips, thank you for just making me basically get caught with my pants pulled down. That's how that felt a little bit. But like, it's because, you know, it's just part of the journey, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not like not good enough. I'm not like not doing exactly as I'm told, right? Like, everything is exactly as it should be, and in time, like, it'll be as it should be. Like, and I don't need to rush, and you don't need to rush, you know? I have been feeling a strong presence near me a lot lately. Could it be a new guardian? It could always be a new guardian, you know, like, but at the end of the day, like, Pickle Chips says, like, Pickle Chips is my guardian that's not here to give you all the answers. Like, Pickle Chips is here to show you an example of what it can look like when you work with a dragon, as closely as I do, or just dragons in general as close as I do. And like, me sharing Pickle Chips with you so openly the way that I do these days, like just with the hatchlings and just online, is essentially Pickle Chips like desire to like inspire you guys to discover it in like your own unique way. And like, I'll always be here to help you along the way. You know what I mean? Like, that's my journey. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to be a guide to help people, you know, and interact with the dragons beyond the veil. And I hope soon more than just dragons, you know, but one step at a time, you know, everything is in its place and its time and in its rhythm, you know? So, let's see. How do I get my brain to shut up, Lunar Rainbow? The best way to get your brain to shut up is honestly to start exercising and focusing on things like breath work, certain types of activities that force you to bring your mind and your body into balance. So, for example, like yoga or like a martial art, or just to name a few, to help you do that kind of thing. I hope that helps though. I have 3 strong presents around me daily. Can pickle chips help me identify what is exactly near me? Pickle chips is saying like not really their place, but like you're safe. That's all. Like it's not really his place to like say what's going on, but like you're safe and you can engage. I hope that helps. But just make sure you're doing your proper protection practices. That's a reminder for everybody, including me in the chat. Yeah, of course, Lena. But I just, okay. Like, it's kind of been weird, you guys, because like I've been starting to be open about pickle chips with like my boyfriend, and that's been kind of weird. Because like at first, because like honestly, my channel like has always been the place where I share about my like witchcraft first in my life. Like I don't really share much about it with like people in my real life, like even my boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like if he asks me questions, hell yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. But like some things I'll willingly share, but like, you know, pickle chips pretty much tells me to use my discernment, because like we don't have like a practice together. That was not like ever supposed to be like the relationship, right? At least in the witchcraft way, like we don't share like a practice with the same guardians, or if that makes sense. Like he just like respects and admires and values like my practice, and I respect and admire and value his practice, or like his like a belief in God, the way he views spirituality, and like just he's very whimsical, if you will. But like when I reference pickle chips as pickle chips, like sometimes I feel like even my boyfriend might think I'm a little silly. Because it's silly, you guys, like, but that's like part of why like I feel like my connection with pickle chips is so special, is just because it's like it's so unique, and like the way that like pickle chips shows up for me, simply because like pickle chips is just a very unique type of dragon, in contrast to like the other dragons that I work with, right? Yeah. Oh, we're talking about lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming's fun. I don't really know how to lucid dream on command. Sometimes I think maybe I've done it like once upon a dream, literally. But like I am more so like better able to remember my dreams, and then like if I do go lucid in a dream, I'm gonna remember it, and then I like writing it down. It's a huge part of my practice. Before going to bed, avoid unnatural lighting, try divination, try reading, gets lots of sunlight on your chakras. Yeah. But also, you know, marrying that with like physical things too, like, you know, having a routine that you can practice that helps wind you down before bed, you know, like sometimes read before bed, read and have some tea, like, or like, you know, maybe you have a bath before bed, like just finding something, a little something that you can do to like help relax yourself is really, really nice. Pickle chips, do our spiritual guides visit us in our dreams? Absolutely, Lunar Rainbow. That's mainly how my dragons visit me, is in my dreams, like at least in the sense that I can like see them. How does one stop procrastinating due to getting overwhelmed really easily and low energy? That's a really good question. How do we do that? Because I'm literally struggling with the same thing. First step is to not be too hard on yourself, because everything is literally poisoning you. Damn. Okay, so what can we do about it? Because that kind of sucked. What can we do about that? It's really in the way you move. It's about falling into flow instead of forcing things into like your space, or into creation, if you will. And when it comes to procrastination, it's usually rooted in shame. It's usually rooted in shame that you won't be good enough if you don't show up perfectly, And so in order to avoid that risk of not showing up perfectly, you'll just put it off and be like, well, if I don't show up, I really can't be judged. I can just be judged for not showing up, right? And so when we procrastinate stuff, sometimes it's also a fear of our success, a fear of what other people would say or think about us if we really did show up as we really are. And who do we have to become that doesn't, like, when we are who we are, the version of ourselves that doesn't procrastinate, how does her thoughts look like? How does his thoughts look like? How do their thoughts look like? What do they see? How are they perceiving reality? You know, when I am this version of myself, how do I carry myself? You know, how do I move? When I am not a procrastinator, when I'm proactive and I'm organized and I plan shit, what does that look like? How does that feel like? What is my thought process for that? You know, it's about getting curious, you know, instead of judging yourself or shaming yourself for not being X, Y, and Z, because remember, your value should never, ever, ever be attached to your productivity. That is a tool of capitalism to make sure you are exploitable and not free thinking. So, with that being said, procrastination is truly a tool of, it's like a control tactic through shame, through social shame and judgment, based on keeping you out of your power. And when you realize when you're procrastinating that you're actually disempowering yourself, ask yourself, if I'm disempowering myself by procrastinating on creating my dreams or creating that video or connecting with that dragon guardian, who is actually benefiting from that? Who is actually being empowered by that? With me being disempowered in that way, who is being empowered by my disempowerment? That's what you need to ask yourself in the scenario of procrastination every single time, because actually it is that serious. It's not just a matter of, what's the word? It's not just a matter of, it's not just a matter of like being better than everyone else. It's a matter of creating something better than you did the last time. It's about how authentically can you show up. It's about how much fun can you have in the process. It's about why does it feel like a chore to you? Like, why are you procrastinating? Like truly, who is benefiting from your procrastination? Get curious about that and have mercy and grace with yourself, because we're all in this bitch together and we are not getting out of it alive. So all we can do is be brave and hold each other's hands and help each other along the way to have the most fun, incredible time as we possibly can, and make sure we leave it a better place for those who come after us. Stop procrastinating. Fuck. Great question. Great question. Pickle chips sounds like they'd be chill AF. Pickle chips is chill AF, but also scary as fuck. Oh, dang, I accidentally. It's about integrating into the whole. I would say so, yeah. The best opening anime song, in my personal opinion, is Soul Eater. Oh, man, it's been so long since I've seen Soul Eater. Actually, there's this one intro for Fairy Tail. It's like during the arc where they're in the land where all the Xyz are from. I forget what it's called, what the realm is called. I think it's called Atlas, if I'm remembering correctly. But the intro song to that part of like Fairy Tail is my favorite intro song ever. Are you ignoring my comments or no, friend? I just haven't seen them. Relax, my friend. This chat's pretty poppin'. Sean Hart, can you please ask Pickle Chips what is and I do not know, and Pickle Chips is not interested. Sorry, brother. Nightmare Fuel Studios, AI art and music proves how magical real music and art is. Yeah, it's true. I got a fortune today that says action is worry's worst enemy. What does that mean? Ooh. Because the second you take action, that's what kills worry. The fuck? Yeah, if you guys like dragons, there's a lot of really good true gems about dragons in fairy tale. It's part of why it's one of my favorites. Highly recommend that. Highly recommended. Cool, deuces. That's cool, that's fine. You know, thank you for your service. My favorite arc was when they entered the parallel world and they met Lisana. Oh my god, I love that one. Lisana, dude, that literally, if you ever wanted to know what I may look like in anime, it would probably be, what's her name? Wendy. But when she's in, like, when she's in the other reality aged up. When I had blue hair, that's essentially what I looked like. Azura, something that motivates me to be more productive is listening to anime openings because they sound so motivated and happy to achieve their goals, and they give me placebo effect. Hell yeah. Like, I love that. Like, I love listening to anime music, like, especially the classics too, like Naruto music. Yeah. And then like, I also really love like Avatar: The Last Airbender music. Something about that music is so special. What are some gems? I was young when I watched it. I barely remember it. Which one? I don't know. Why did I get that fortune? I don't understand. Oh yes, the action. The action is, well, probably because you're worrying all the time. You know, when we worry, it paralyzes us from taking action, right? So like when you take action, despite your worries, sometimes it's about just making a choice. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people get so caught up in just making a choice and sticking to it. You know what I mean? And like that's something that I had to choose when I was dealing with my attachment style and my relationship getting really triggered by being in a healthy relationship for the first time. I thought I was in a very bad relationship at first, which is normal when you're previously abused and you're going into having like a healthy relationship. Like that is normal for the abused individual to initially process it as like, this is a bad situation, I'm in danger. But like the more that I looked at it, you know what I mean? The more that I realized I had to make a choice, I was like, okay, I either have to choose to be 100% in this, or I have to choose to walk away. Pokemon music is top tier, honestly. But, you know, and I was like, you know what? Despite everything I've been through, I'm going to choose to love him anyway. No matter what I feel like is happening, I'm gonna do my best, because of course there was a lot of trauma, so I'm gonna do my best to not lash out, to be curious, to try and not take it personally, to do my best to regulate myself, and sometimes I fall flat on my face in that process. And every single time I do that, I'm just reminded that I have more work to do on, you know, growing and practicing and regulating. And like, yes, I've come a long way, but like, I still have a long way to go. Like I'm still, like I said, a novice in my craft. Like, and I will probably say that the rest of my life. And, you know, if I say otherwise in the future, it's only because my guardians told me I could or something. I don't know. But like with like, as far as I've come now, you know, like there's nothing that can really like bother me anymore except myself. And it's funny because if the world outside of you is bothering you, it's because there's something inside of you that you're not wanting to look at that's bothering you too. Law of paradox, you know? So, you've got the strength to win it, so stay in it. Exactly. You wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Pokemon theme song. the original is the best. Metallica Dome, that song at one of their concerts. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what Sean Hart was asking about, and that's the only reason why I said I wasn't going to speak on it. Sometimes people think I'm being a bitch because of the autism. I really wasn't trying to be rude, but like, I'm not going to speak on something I don't know. I hope that's understandable. Azura, do you know middle pillar meditation? I was doing it for a while. Then I saw a video saying middle pillar LBRP can be dangerous and can attract negative things. I don't know about that, so I would have to look into that. But yeah, Crossbow Gaming TR. Welcome back to your Daily Dose of Dragon Feather. Sorry, I do not know. Sorry. I've been feeling scared and worried with the Rogue One because of all I have been through. Hearing you say that, it's the universe telling me I am with the right guy and I need to let go of the pain. Yeah, you know, like, sometimes, you know, after we've been through so much abuse and like trauma and like challenges, at some point in our life, when things start to shift in a better way, and then we have issues, like seemingly new problems start to come up out of nowhere, it's usually because like you're a little bit of the issue now, because like you have so many defense mechanisms that you should never be ashamed of. They were created to keep you alive in your traumatic scenarios. It was your survival, life or death. That's what was the difference. And that needs to be honored. That needs to be cherished and forgiven and just loved as much as it needs to be before you can replace it with a healthier way of life. And in the relationships that I was in before, it was a survival mechanism for me to be hyper vigilant about who my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend was on the phone with in the past, because there was cheating involved and I had reason to be concerned, right? And so I would just always have suspicion, rightfully so, when I was looking at like his phone. But in the relationship I'm in now, I've never had any reason to do that, but like the program to be hyper vigilant and check and ask and be anxious and suspicious is still there. And that is a part of betrayal trauma. That is a trust wound that I have that I need to work on, that gets triggered in my healthy relationship, that fucking burns me. And sometimes I lash out because I'm fucking trying my best. You know what I mean? But the difference is having radical compassion and mercy to myself and learning how to communicate my feelings in a way that doesn't attack people. Like I say, I feel so abandoned when my best friend doesn't show up for me this way, instead of saying like, how could you do this to me? Why would you treat me this way? Like total same kind of like point, but like I'm communicating it differently, right? So Azura, what are some gems about dragons and fairy tale? I haven't seen it in almost a decade. The dragon magic of the dragon slayers. They call it like dragon slayer magic in the show, but it's very much like the animation that they show, like when Natsu is like doing his like fire dragon fist or whatever, or like whatever he says, right? When they're doing that and you see like the image of like Igneal like behind him, and like the red drag, like his dad basically like behind him, like doing the attack with him, that's what like my guardians have shown me is very similar to how like actual witchcraft with your dragons is. When you go to wave your wand, if you will, when you're a draconic witch, you have that little anime scene behind you with your dragon doing it with you. That is what it means to be a draconic witch. And that is why I love fairy tales so much, because they really, really, really embrace that aspect of the dragon, fighting with them, being present with them in their magic as wizards, as dragon slayer wizards. But Pickle Chip says that they got it wrong. Dragon slayer magic always supersedes God slayer magic, but I digress. I don't remember that, but thank you. Wow, it's getting late here. It's already after 1 a.m. I know, it's so late. I'm gonna go to sleep soon, but Gildard's speech to Natsu when he passed the test. That too, Alfred Cordova, I love that one. Azura, what are some, oh yeah. So yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. And then there's also some good gems in there about fairies too. For example, fairy law. For those of you guys who are interested in pop culture witchcraft, one part of my path, like, fairy tale was a huge part of, like, I would say, like, my early 20s. And I, like, during COVID, like, I think that's when I started watching anime, or right before that. I don't remember, all of that time blurs together. Wow. But basically, like with fairy law, like, for those of you guys who don't know, it's basically a spell that, like, I forget the, like, guild master for fairy tale. It's escaping me right now, but he has this spell that he casts called fairy law, and it's essentially like divine light judgment, right? And like when I have gotten like really close with fairies, like recently, and just like, and recently by in like the last like 4 or 5 years, right? Like in that time frame, like the fairy energy that I have gotten is very much like a righteous judgment in a way that's like not angelic or like holy. I don't know how else to say that. How do I face my fear of money? Ooh. Tap into your financial history. What does your financial story look like? Is it shit? Probably. Are you telling yourself that you struggle with money? You want to get better with money? Do you do any type of money money mantras, or like money affirmations? Do you feel uncomfortable holding a lot of money? Do you like to spend money? Are you afraid to make money? Do you think that you have to work hard to make money? Do you feel like you are worthy of money? Do you feel like you deserve money simply for existing? There's really so many things and perspectives you can take when it comes to money, that like you just have to choose the perspective that you want. And 9 times out of 10, if you're watching my videos right now, you were born into poverty. Hi, hey, hi, hello, me too. And we have to do our best to unlearn those programmings and identify experiences we had as a child that instilled fear of money or hatred of money. Do we feel like money corrupts? Is it the root of all evil? Because it's not, it's an energy. You know, money is like magic in the way that it is good or bad depending on the caster, or how you spend it, or how you invest it, right? So money, I think the best way you can improve your relationship with money is to improve your relationship with it through the lens of magic, and view it as an energy similar to magic, in the sense that you can cast it, you can call upon it, you can engage with it that way. And then it's almost as if money is something that is familiar and within your mastery already as a witch when you take it that way. So I hope that can help you guys, for anyone in the chat, because I needed that lesson too. Thank you. That was a great fucking question. Luna, you're the boss. I'm officially on a mission to watch Fairy Tale. Yeah, me too, actually, 100%. Dragon Sorceress, it happened after hanging out with my toxic family member. What did? Oh my gosh, did I miss the other one? Oh, things have been looking up and high feelings of bliss, and all of a sudden today, Suck got into multiple arguments and emotional agitations. What can this mean, and how can I stay in the high vibes? Dragon Sorceress, the truth is that, like, you can never always stay in the high vibes on planet Earth. That is not what the journey of anyone is supposed to become on planet Earth. The planet Earth game is for you to explore the spectrum of experiences. All of them need to become a teacher to you. The second you try to avoid any type of experience on planet Earth, that's where you know where your healing is most needed. That is where you know your attention is most needed, is where you're trying to avoid it, because it's not that serious, because everything's objectively neutral. And as difficult as arguments can be and conflicts are in interpersonal relationships, in community settings, in country settings, and on the global scale, as devastating their impacts can be on any scale, it's important to remember that is the nature of our reality. We have every kind of experience probably that you can imagine here in this realm. And so what you do with that information is entirely what determines your experience of these situations moving forward. You are allowed to have a belief that everything happens for the good of all. And even if on the outside it feels wrong, if you hold that perspective, that's how you will experience your reality. And that is the difference. That is the difference between, 3D and 5D, I guess you could say, is like 3D, I'm gonna just take whatever's in front of me, and that sucks that I got in a fight with my boyfriend, or why did he like snip at me like that? Like, why did I snap at him like that? Like, what the hell? Like, this is so frustrating. Why did I get triggered? This is so stupid. Like, why can't I just like be happy? Why can't I just like be free from this trauma? Why can't I just be fucking free again? Like, I know that you feel that. I feel that too deep within my core. But the reality is like the process of this planet is extraordinarily slow because it's very, very solid. It's like three-dimensional. It's not just a spiritual plane. Like, we are physically embodied. You know what I mean? And so because of that reason, it's important to take a deep breath. Okay. Take a very big deep breath and know that the only thing that matters is how you approach the situations and how you perceive conflicts and carry yourself in the future. I challenge you to view things that were traditionally conditioned for you to see them as bad or negative or even traumatizing. I challenge you to take these conflicts as opportunities to demonstrate your skill on your path of spiritual evolution, demonstrate your skill of emotional regulation and intelligence, demonstrate your skill of empathy and compassion, and demonstrate your skill of intuition and faith. And that is what we are trying to establish here, is the lesson that I've learned, from my path, just with walking with the dragon and just with my life in general. I've learned these lessons the absolute hard way, brutally, and many of us are here to learn these lessons the brutal way, in our own way. That is part of our, experience of transmuting, transforming, and transferring the energy here on planet Earth into something better. Sometimes you have to dive into the deepest, darkest depths first before you can find the hidden treasure that you get to bring to the surface, to the light, to share with everyone else on the shore. You have to take it one step at a time and know that each time that you take a step, it's a new now moment. And that moment is all that's going to exist. And the future and the past for you is only but in your head, because actually all you have is your presence and your being right now. And the only reason why you can exist is because you have presence over time. That is why you have life. That's what creates life, is your presence over time on Earth. So please use that wisely. And please know that every single experience you have, good, bad, ugly, or otherwise, has a lesson for you to learn, for you to evolve, if you choose. Only if you choose. You can repeat cycles, you can stay stuck in your conditioning unconsciously, or you can consciously choose something better for yourself. It can run into the family until it ran into you, but that is up to you and you alone. So I hope that helps. I think that would probably be a great place to end the live. I'm exhausted. But I honestly love you. That was beautiful. Thank you. I cry. Oh my goodness, Dragon Sorceress. I'm so grateful that that was a successful message. That is probably why I am super drained after that one. And Pickle Chips is time to go, because that was just such a beautiful way to end the live. Thank you so much for your question, as always. And all of you guys, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. This was such a fun stream. I hope that we can do more Dragon Guardian streams in the future. And Pickle Chip says, even if I get good enough, I can try and stream with your guardians if you give me your consent. So, also, fun fact, Pickle Chip says we may or may not have an opportunity for a community guardian in the future if we stay consistent and do our best on working with our crafts individually and our craft together and showing up here together, okay? Because it all matters, right? Like, my channel is not like most channels, okay? This is an interactive experience, okay? Like, we're doing this shit together, at least on the live part of this channel, right? Like, you know, my shorts and my like main uploads are, you know, a little bit more professional kind of content, but like this is like very much like we're in this shit together, you know what I mean? So I love the idea of a community guardian. Yes, Nightmare Fuel Studios. I love that idea too. So we will work with Pickle Chips about this. Who knows? Maybe the guardian's already here and we don't know. Maybe it's always been here. Who knows? I don't know these things, but we'll all find out together, and that's the fun of it. But until next time, I love you guys so much. You're the most wonderful human beings in the world. Thank you for spending some of your day with me today. I love you. But until next time, say geeky, get freaky, little hatchlings. But until next time, go see you. Bye.